the truck. GMC Sierra, with available features like the V8 engine, the ultimate luxury interior, and of course, the available world's first 6-function multi-pro tailgate. GMC Sierra, not just any truck, the truck. GMC's continued commitment to professional-grade engineering is on full display at your Bayou GMC dealer. Come take a test drive today and see for yourself. We are professional-grade GMC.
Gear up for Labor Day weekend at Benny's Car Wash and Oil Change. Drive through any of our 7 locations for an oil change and receive a free car wash. Plus, club members enjoy an extra 25% off. Shop local this Labor Day. Shop Benny's.
Why do billion-dollar insurance companies regularly delay and deny valid claims? Because that's how they got to be billion-dollar insurance companies. If you've been injured, I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
LA filing number 16-7969.
WNXX Jackson, KNXX Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers. LA 21-12681. Offices in Baton Rouge.
Good morning. It's 7 a.m. here on Wednesday, August 28th. Today in Baton Rouge, you can expect rainy skies with a high of 94. In hour 1 of today's show, we'll continue our discussion of LSU versus USC, and we'll hear from some of the LSU Tigers themselves. You can follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN, and watch us on YouTube at the 104.5 ESPN channel. Hour number 1 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios, starts now.
Let's go, baby, let's go.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah.
Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah, they said I gotta come off the bench.
Now, here's Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yo, what's going on, everyone? Welcome in. It is Wednesday of game week. We are a day closer to week 1 of college football, to LSU-USC in Las Vegas, and things are heating up. Break it all down today on Off the Bench, 7 to 10 a.m. here on 104.5 ESPN. Let's have ourselves a great day. How's everyone feeling this morning, guys? Feeling ready to roll?
Feeling great. Funny enough, I actually had the same exact sweatshirt on, and in the 11th hour, I was like, you know what? I'm not going to wear white today.
This is the old OTB SEC logo. It's the old SEC logo with OTB instead of SEC. Shout out our guy Danny Cardenas. Made this back in the day.
Who?
Old Daniel. He seems to be traveling all over the world.
Can't place him because he doesn't sit still long enough.
No, never. Alonda, what's up, girl? How we doing?
I'm doing well. I'm really excited because I'm leaving tomorrow. Well, y'all are too,
Vegas.
but I'm just so excited.
Oh my gosh, we are leaving tomorrow.
I know. I have to pack today.
It's so funny. I'm old and now I'm like, it's a long time. Taylor, what's up, dude? What's up with you, man?
Ready to ride solo here for the next 2 days.
We're gonna miss you, Tay.
Well, we'll be here tomorrow.
But I mean,
but after that.
Yeah.
But like after that.
Friday, Monday.
Yes. We will not be here.
I'm excited.
All right. There's no easy way to do this, so I'm just gonna meet this head on, and then we'll quickly move on. But some very sad personal news this morning, as my grandmother, my dad's mother, has passed away. Paula Hebert. She was a unbelievable woman. She now joins her husband, my namesake, Bobby Hebert Sr., some other family members as well. But I just wanted to take a moment here and honor her and thank her. An amazing woman, raised a hell of a family, just unbelievable set of grandparents. And I remember doing this a few years ago when my grandpa passed from COVID. And it's been a long few years, and now I'm very sad, but I'm glad that they get to be together once again. And so a lot of love to her and the family and everything else. But look, my grandparents are also the reason why I was raised so diehard LSU, and why I really am where I am, like professionally and personally, and really like this entire life. Maybe nobody's had a bigger impact. And so to honor that, we are going to keep doing the show. I just felt like I needed to get it off of my chest a little bit. But yeah, love you, Granny. I hope you and Papa are doing well, reunited once again in heaven. All right. Let's just move on here. So as I said, we are pushing towards Sunday's game in Las Vegas, LSU-USC. And look, we all know the storylines. LSU's lost 4 openers in a row, right? And it has left an incredibly bad taste in the mouths of everybody on this team. It's like we talked about yesterday. Unless you are a fifth-year guy, you have never known what it feels like to win the first game of the season, which is actually insane to think about. Well, our guy from LSUOdyssey.com, Lon Phillips, went a step further, and he compiled some stats from these last 4 openers, and it really shows just how bad it's been. You've lost to 3 unranked teams. You've allowed 44 points, at least 44 points twice. You've allowed 38 points 3 times. You've given up over 392 yards at least all 4 times. You've given up 1,988 yards in those 4 games. Yeah, I know. I see the shocking look on your face, Jake. It was mine as well when I read this. You have given up nearly 2,000 total yards in 4. I mean, really, you have to. It's 12 yards away. You've given up 2,000.
You're not getting the benefit of the doubt.
Not giving you that 12. You've given up 2,000 yards across 4 total games. You've allowed opponents to convert 58% of their third downs. We'll take a break because that's all defensive numbers. Obviously, as if, I mean, well, whatever. As if it could not have been even more obvious, Blake Baker, this defense has to come out ready to play. This defense has to come out locked in, ready to go, and you have to put a better performance on the field. I don't care that it's Lincoln Riley, one of the premier offensive minds of college football. I don't care that it's Miller Moss, or if you want to say Zachariah Branch, or any of these weapons, whoever you want to say. I don't care. You have to be better than 38 points, 400 total yards, or you will once again find yourself on the losing end of one of these openers.
Yeah, and the wild part about that is it's been 3 different defensive coordinators, right? Oh, yeah. Multiple personnel, multiple assistant coaches, different head coaches.
Yeah.
Like, there's not like one thing you can point to. It's been different staffs, different players, different scheme, like everything. You've tried to change it a couple of times. And so, like, that's why there's going to be so much pressure on this defensive staff, is because it's been bad. Now, Matt House's first year overall in the totality of the season, they did pretty well.
Yeah.
They were top 40 defense, and, you know, they weren't a liability, certainly like they were a year ago. But still, like, there's going to be pressure on this defensive staff because that is alarming when you're talking about 2,000 yards in a 4-game span. And Lon brings it up, 3 unranked teams.
3 unranked teams
that you're going against.
And 58% conversion on third down.
Like, Costello from Mississippi State got benched like 2 weeks after that.
Yeah, he was bad. Well, so you've allowed a 58% conversion rate, but the offense hasn't been perfect either. You've come out very bumbling. You've only converted 35% of your own third downs at the time. They went 35 of 60. You went 19 of 53. You've lost 3 fumbles. You've thrown 4 picks. You in the 2 FSU games, you lost the time of possession by 8.5 and 11 minutes. Dominated. You gave up 623 passing yards to KJ Costello. 623.
That's still the record.
210 rushing yards to Chip Kelly's UCLA. In 3 of the 4 games, you've allowed over 10 yards per attempt through the air. You've only created 2 turnovers the last 2 years. So it has been not just losses, it has been an abject disaster.
And one of those turnovers, T-Bob, was because Florida State pitched it on the goal line.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And gave you a chance
That's
to go.
right, and gave you a
tie the
chance to
game.
try to win in year number 1. So the point of all of this is that I've seen enough. It's got to change. You know who else has seen enough? Will Campbell. My man had me ready to run through a brick wall with his comments yesterday. Wait until you hear these and tell me that this does not feel like a team that is ready to erase all of that crap that I just spewed into your ear for the last few minutes. Let's start as to the reason why Will Campbell is there, guys.
We know what we're there for. We're not there to go to Caesar's Palace. We're there to go get in a fist fight, and everybody in this building knows it, and that's just what it is.
We're not there to go to Caesar's Palace. We're there to get in a fist fight. Is this not the exact thing that we talked about last week? Is this not the exact thing that a lot of these USC Trojan accounts seem to be mad at me about? Is demanding that LSU out physical USC and show them that they are soft. Will Campbell's not afraid to say it. They're there to get in a fight. They're not here to gamble. I don't care about Vegas. I don't care about Caesar's Palace. This next one about being the underdog, this comes with the question as well. And then go ahead and load up the third as well, Taylor, like we talked about before the show. I'm reading my flow here. Are we ready on the second one? All right, perfect. This has a question as well. Here's Will Campbell talking about being the underdog a little bit.
We're there for. We're not there to go to Caesar's Palace. We're there to go get in a fist fight, and everybody in this building knows it.
That's fine. I could listen to that one
I
all
was
day.
about to say I could listen to that. I was actually going to ask you to play it again after the first time that you played it. The accent makes it so much better.
Caesar's Palace.
God,
we know.
That.
Alondra, do you have these bits on audio? Do you know? Already cut
Yeah,
up?
which one was it that you were asking for?
The one where he talks about being the underdog, being a kind of relative unknown.
In this building knows what we have in here. I like the underdog. I'm gonna take him every time. Nobody's expecting what they're about to see on Sunday night. And, we're excited for it. Everybody in this room knows, everybody in this building knows what we have in here. And I don't think a lot of the country knows what we have in here. And, like you said, I want people to be like that, because then they're going to be like, whenever it happens, we're going to be like, yeah, that's what we expected.
Again, a very confident aura being projected by Will Campbell there. Basically saying, okay, look, y'all think, because what have we been saying? There are question marks throughout this roster. And although there seemed to be some early belief in LSU from the National College Football Hive Mind, Jake, it does seem to have rubber banded a bit here recently, where everybody's kind of saying, think about the last couple years where they were at, and look at the question marks, and maybe I just it's a bit too much. And then you look at Ole Miss; they're more complete. Tennessee, and so LSU's kind of been shuttled to the side a little bit. And there's some other worrying statistics we'll get to during the show. But Will Campbell speaking with his chest out about as confident as you could possibly be.
Yeah, I think as we get closer, there's a lot of people that are remembering all the things that you just laid out that Lon did a great job of putting all and compiling all those stats together. They kind of remember even the Vegas line and how last year against Florida State, the line kind of did the same thing that it's doing here against USC. I just think that it's a little bit PTSD from what we've seen over the last 4 years, and not just as LSU fans, but the entire country is like, hold it, yeah, that's right. Wait a minute, I forgot that's how they opened up their season the last 4 years. Like, I was on some show, I don't even know where it was out of, and I said that, and they're like, wait, what? I'm like, yeah, they've lost the last 4 openers. Like, oh my God, I hadn't even really put that together. And so I think Will's right. Like that conversation, I know for me on off campus, I'm sure for you on snaps, like we've had guests come on, not just listeners, but guests come on and kind of be like, you know what? I got to see it from LSU. They lost a lot. We don't really know these names, and so yeah, that's been a lot of the conversation.
Speaking of losing those overs, let's jump back to Campbell 1 here, Alondra, and this is what he feels like he's learned in losing 2 of those himself.
There's a lot of guys on this team, but not only the team, the coaching staff, that we haven't done what we've needed to do the first week of the season, not just since I've been here, but even years previous. And it's not a good way to start the season off. It kind of, sets the tone the wrong way. And we know that we got to come out, start fast, and we can't take, in the previous years, like we have weeks to build up to our potential. We got to come out rolling this year, and everybody in the building knows.
So again, very cognizant of what is on the table. Alondra, is the answer about the where's the answer where he talks about running the ball? Is that anxious to see looking against a different defense?
I think it's that, but Taylor says he
You got the clip? All right, so I like what Cobble tweeted here. He said, quote, "The general vibe I get from LSU," and obviously Michael Cobble's been covering this team for a very, very long time, so his reads on these kind of preseason situations holds weight because he's seen it a million times before. And this one does feel a bit more like you can feel a bit more confidence oozing out of that building than you had the last couple of years. Cobble says, quote, "The general vibe I get from LSU is that they're excited to show off what they know. They know the work they put in. They know the talent they have. They're ready to introduce that to every team they play, starting with USC."
Say explosive. There's a lot of explosive playmakers, not only on the outside, but the inside in our running back room. And, like I said, we're going to run the ball. So, that's not something we're hiding or, trying to keep quiet. I'm telling everybody right now, we are going to run the football. So you can take what you want with that. And, Caleb, Josh, Caden, all these guys, they're all big, powerful, fast guys. And I'm just excited for them.
That might be my favorite quote of the day right there, Jake, because something that's been going around in the chat and just kind of around in general has been the size difference between that LSU offensive line and what they'll face in USC. I think it's what the average is like 6'6", 320 for the LSU O-line, and then something like 6'3", 290 for that of USC. So when you combine that, you combine the comments about going there to get in a fist fight, about being cognizant of the failures of the past and knowing what's at stake and needing to avoid it. And then you tell me, look, I don't care who's listening. We are going to run the ball. I am telling you right now, we are going to run the ball. That's that energy, that aggression, that dictation that I'm looking for out of this LSU team come Sunday night.
Yeah, he said every syllable and every word that he said. Like, he wanted to make sure that he let everyone know what they're thinking. And if you watch last year's offense, you're probably wondering, like, wait, why would they do that? Why would they not do what they've always done? They'll do some of that. There's no question about it. They got somebody that can sling it back there. But also, you have to realize what your strengths are. And, hey, where am I deficient, but where am I really strong? Well, you're really strong on the offensive line.
Yeah.
You got the best maybe in the country. Top 5 without question. Like, nobody, even the biggest hater, couldn't argue that. You've got 2 first-round picks. You got 2 guards that, have, 30-plus starts in their career. And you've got a center that was a highly touted guy that a lot of people have been big on for his entire time here. Yeah, and he's larger than most centers are going to be. Well, lean on that group. Use that group. Don't just, run inside zone because you could last year. No, be creative. Get those guys on the move. Get them on edges. And that's what they've been doing, in fall camp. We've seen clips of it. And so I can actually appreciate Joe Sloan taking a look at what he has in his biggest strength and not just doing what they did last year because they had the number 1 offense in the country. Realizing, hey, Nuss isn't Jaden. And I'm not saying he's a bad player, but they're not related. Like, their play is not related to each other.
No.
So you can't do the same things. What do? Well, you played your biggest strength.
Well, and what does it do? It running the ball helps everything.
Yep.
It helps the quarterback. It helps rest the defense. You don't lose those time of possession battles by 8.5 minutes and 11 minutes. Football, this is something that Mike McDaniel, I do this every time. Mike McDaniel talks
hey, you
about.
just
right?
like Motown, bro.
Yeah, exactly. And you think about McDaniel being like very finesse, right? But he talks about the importance of running the ball and how football inherently remains a physical game at the end of the day, and a lot of the game can be decided by who is more physical, who beats up the other team, who makes the other team want to quit, who makes them have to feel. And when you lean on someone and you start running over them, and those 3-4 yard gains turn into 7-8 yard gains in that third and fourth quarter, well, you've won. It was my absolute favorite part about playing football. Feeling within this 60-minute battle, I guess you could call it 180 minutes, really, real time.
Yeah.
But feeling a man who at the beginning of the day was full of confidence and full of fight and thought he belonged there, and then teaching him a painful, hard-earned lesson over those next 180 minutes and feeling that man's will and spirit break in your hands. And I mean that legitimately, really break. It is a high unlike any that I've ever felt up to that point or ever felt since. It is maybe outside of the just being with the fellas, the thing that I miss most about football, establishing that physical and mental dominance. And that's why football starts up front. That's why it starts in the trenches. And that's exactly what this LSU offensive line is going to have to do come Sunday night.
It is the best part about football. There's no doubt about it. When you're in 4-minute offense, sometimes it's within 4 minutes, sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's for a 10-minute period in the fourth quarter. It is the best version of football, right? It's like, I'm grown and you're just starting to walk.
Yeah,
I am going to lean on you. You know what's coming. We all do. Hell, the whole stadium knows what's coming, and you can't stop it. That is like football erotic. When you are going out there and you dictate the pace and the narrative of everything, it's without question to me the best version of football. It's like when people talk about the Florida game in 2007, right? The fourth downs are cool. The best part about it, though, was they knew that load power was coming and couldn't do anything about it.
Yep.
Like they wanted to stop it. They're calling the play out beforehand.
Yeah.
And it didn't matter because everybody won their individual matchup. It's the best feeling in football. I think it's the best feeling in sports. And if you've never had it, I feel sorry for you.
And hopefully LSU is something that they haven't done very often. Hopefully they can get back to that starting Sunday night. All right. I'm going long here. When we get back, I got a couple more Will Campbell bits I want to get to. And then, look, I started to really deep dive into some more of this LSU-USC matchup. I've got a couple numbers that would maybe make USC fans very happy, maybe cause a bit of consternation in the LSU fan base, but we'll get to it next here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench.
Get Gordon and get it done. 225-888-8888. Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys are there for you when you need somebody who's going to get it done for you. So if you get into an accident, you need somebody to stand at the big insurance company to get you what you deserve. Get Gordon by calling 225-888-8888, or you can go to the website, getgordon.com. You can see the plethora of cases that they handle. You can fill out a free consult form right there online as well. And as I tell you every day, go ahead and follow Gordon on social media at @GetGordon, where you got a ton of great content, man. General life tips, business tips, what to do, how to protect yourself when you get in an accident, and a lot of content with your favorite athletes, members of the G team. Okay, so go to getgordon.com today.
Well done there. Go to getgordon.com. That is the website where T-Bob said it. You can do it all. You can find past climb results, cases they can handle for you. You can find the contact information, which is your area code in the state of Louisiana, followed by 888-8888. Get Gordon and get it done.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD.
Welcome back to Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Michael O'Donnell, Dolphins coach, bringing you back in here to OTB.
Hey, it's better than I remembered, though.
Hey, I forgot to tell y'all, Tiger Labor and Staffing, there for you guys. If you need any employees for your job, this could be anything like light industrial, construction, clerical. They really run the gamut. Tiger Labor and Staffing, they're your local staffing experts. They've been at this now for over 10 years. And they get to work early. And it's same day. Let's say you literally need somebody for the job that day. You go to Tiger Labor and Staffing, you are going to find the right person for the job. And then who knows, maybe it's a day, maybe it's a week, maybe it becomes something permanent. But the point is, you need help, go to the turnkey service that handles all the paperwork, billing, everything they do. All you do is get the right person for the job. And look, if you're looking for work, get in touch with Tiger Labor and Staffing as well, as they can put you in the right spot as well. Shout out Tiger Labor and Staffing. All right, let's get back to a couple of Will Campbell bits. Here's Campbell 5 on, is he anxious to see what the offense looks like against someone else this season?
I mean, I know what this offense is. I mean, I know the type of playmakers we have and the guys that we have, not only on this offense, but this team. I'm just excited to go hit somebody different than my own teammates.
Always the best feeling. Always the best feeling. You get sick of hitting the boys when you finally get to go hit somebody who is an actual enemy, who is an actual threat, who is trying to take everything that you have worked so hard for. Go to Campbell 15 here, Alondra. What does Will see out of this USC defense?
I mean, I wouldn't say accustomed to. I mean, we've playing in the SEC. I mean, you see literally anything you can draw up on a whiteboard. So, you know, they got a bunch of playmakers, like I said, a bunch of guys who, if we don't take care of our business, that are capable of beating us and, you know, embarrassing us. So we know that, you know, in our preparation, we have to be very detailed with what we want to do and what we're trying to do as a collective. and we have to execute. That's the biggest thing for us. We have to execute what we're doing, and then the rest takes care of itself.
Will Campbell, what are your personal goals for this season?
Win a national championship. That's it.
Oh wow. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Well, not pulling any punches there. And then finally, let's revisit my favorite sound of the day one more time here. Describe the offense in one word. This Campbell 10.
I'll say explosive. There's a lot of explosive playmakers, not only on the outside but the inside in our running back room. And, like I said, we're going to run the ball. So, that's not something we're hiding or, trying to keep quiet. I'm telling everybody right now we are going to run the football. So you can take what you want with that. And, Caleb, Josh, Caden, all these guys, they're all big, powerful, fast guys. And I'm just excited for them.
Oh, man, let's go. That's the attitude that we're looking for there, boys. Shout out to LSU's new number 7, one of the number 7, and one of the 2 players that I'm very excited to see come Sunday night because I can't wait to watch Harold Perkins, dude. It's the same thing. Now, Jake, we started so yesterday on Snaps, we did our week 1 previews, right? Because YouTube strategy, we want to have them out there and they can live on YouTube for a few days, blah, 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 whatever, right? So I'm diving deep into the numbers on all these different games, and I found a stat that is positive for USC, but maybe a bit, I don't want to say intimidating. Let's just not take the opponent too lightly here. Think back to Georgia Tech FSU. What would you say is the one thing that as we were trying to project forward into the game, how it ended up playing out, was the one thing that was maybe that we couldn't really account for in terms of how it played out? And there could be more than one thing. This is just what stands out in my mind.
Like, what was the thing that was, I guess, more surprising than anything?
Yes.
Was Georgia Tech dominating Florida State's defensive line.
Okay, well, yes, that's actually completely fair as well. That's completely fair. I was just getting at the defensive improvement from Georgia Tech because they were awful.
We talked about that on Monday.
That's what I'm saying. They were awful against the run, right?
Yes.
So
what was it, 220 yards?
Yeah,
on the ground?
They gained 230 per game on the ground, led the ACC, but they were dead last, giving up 230 on the ground a game, like over 5 yards a carry. And so how could we have known that they could come out and shut down that rushing attack?
Right.
And what did they do? They got a new D coordinator. They got Santucci. But that's what we've been talking about with the computers and FPI as it relates to LSU, right? Why are the computers and analytics maybe a little lighter on LSU? Well, how do you quantify a defensive coordinator change and the positive impact that we could have, that can have? We talk about Blake Baker taking over that Mizzou defense. They were ranked in the hundreds. The next year, they ranked 33. Well, if you look at EPA per play, very simple analytic, doesn't matter. All you need to know is EPA just tries to judge how well you're doing on a per play basis. You got to give credit to D'Anton Lynn. We've talked a lot about how good that UCLA defense was with him. What I just discovered yesterday was how massive the turnaround was there. The year before D'Anton Lynn got to UCLA, they were 111th in EPA per play. The next year, the very next year, first year in Lynn, 8th. From 111 to 8th in the entire country. So look, I think Blake Baker is going to lead to a much improved LSU defense, but make no mistake, there's a good chance that this could be a much improved USC defense as well, and that's where Will Campbell and the ability to just out physical and dictate and maybe dominate physically is really going to have to come into play.
Yeah, so that's one of the things when you look at this matchup. Let's say that one team has to do that. One team has to lean on the other defense. I feel much better if I'm an LSU fan and LSU's ability to do that than USC. Like USC right now, that's not their DNA. That is not their identity. That is not what they have done. And so even though, like, I do think Lynn's a really good defensive coordinator, and he feels like a guy that's going to be an NFL defensive coordinator. I mean, he's an NFL guy.
Yeah.
Like all of his coaching stops Jets, Bills, Chargers, Texans, Ravens. Like, he was an assistant coach all those places before he went to UCLA. Like, he's only had 1 year as a defensive coordinator. That was last year with UCLA.
Wow. And from 111 to 8th in 1 year.
Yeah.
Damn.
But he hasn't been there for that long, and so, like, he's taking over a defense that was not built to play that way, as far as if you want to try to make it a little bit of a rock fight. Like, if you want to win the time of possession, you want to, have similarities to what Georgia Tech was able to do against Florida State. Even though LSU has questions up front, I still feel like they'll be built better to stop USC from doing that than vice versa. If it does turn into that game that you're talking about.
I think so. The next point of study I need to get into tonight, my plans for tonight are to rewatch the USC bowl game from last year. But then also I need to learn more about this USC offensive line. Because 2 years ago, I think the O-line is why they went 11-1. And I think it was one of the main reasons why they took such a step back last season was the O-line was not the good line that I saw in action 2 years ago.
It's a lot of new faces, a lot of new bodies there for them. That's one thing that does make it, like, in a season opener now, like, it is a little bit different. I'm talking about from 2 years, like, those guys 2 years ago are, now gone. But it does make it difficult sometimes when you're trying to get ready for a season opener. I can't imagine how difficult it is for the coaches. Like, if I'm getting ready for USC's defense, and I want to know personnel, because, like, I want to know tendencies. I want to give my guys a cheat sheet. Hey, this guy likes this move in this situation. This guy takes on this block like this, whatever. Like, you got to go pull like 6 teams now to be able to get personnel breakdowns. And, God, like, I was in charge of that in the NFL when I was a rookie, of getting the personnel breakdowns. It was easy. It's the same team. Maybe you have a free agent that signs, whatever. This, like, right now, USC's got 5 new starters on defense through the portal. And so you're trying to figure out, okay, who are those 5 guys?
Yeah.
What are they going to do in this new system? We haven't seen this group play together. And so now, if you're LSU, you're trying to piece together UCLA tape, USC tape, and then tape from all the places that these different, 5 players, 6 players that are potentially going to start on the defensive side.
It's overwhelming in the amount of work that has to go in. But they also have tons of staff and analysts and everything else to help out now. All right, when we get back, let's continue to break down LSU-USC. Keep it locked right here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench.
Go to Pinnacle Exterior Construction, PECbuilt.com, PECbuilt.com. At Pinnacle Exterior Construction, we build the spaces, you build the memories. So if you've always wanted to get a pool, you've always thought about it, check out the spec pools over there at Pinnacle, where you can choose from kind of these templates, and then you choose detail work within the templates. You make the pool your own. Or you get a fully custom pool. Or you get a fully custom backyard, outdoor kitchen, or outdoor living area, chilling area. Any size or type fence, pergolas, bulkheads, they do it all, guys. Make your backyard what you've always wanted to be, okay? And you'll finally be happy. Go to PECbuilt.com, check out the gallery, PECbuilt.com.
Yeah, go to the website today, and always remember when you're looking at it, it is residential and commercial, so they can come in and do that job no matter if you want it at your home or your business. Also, check out what they can do in the artificial turf game. Change your backyard, PECbuilt.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding. But our number one product is always customer satisfaction. Visit us online at reliefwindows.com. Oh, by the way, we do shutters too.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial properties. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve.
Welcome back to Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
I see the crystal raindrops fall and the beauty of
What's happening, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. Talking LSU-USC because, of course, we are. One player that I do know about, Jake, on USC's offensive line, and he's somebody to watch out for because he's positioned to attack what we perceive to be your greatest weakness, though, again, as Brian Kelly told you the other day, like if you're telling me that the interior defensive line is, and I'm paraphrasing here, but if you're telling me that the interior defensive line is the weakest part, like they're good enough, right?
Yeah.
But Jonah Monheim, USC center. How about this cat? I've never heard of anything like this. 2 years ago, he started all at, I believe it was right tackle. Last year, he starts the entire year at left tackle. In that 2-year stretch, he earns an 89.1 PFF grade. Now, he's the starting center.
Yeah.
I have no idea how that happens. Maybe they needed leadership. They need somebody to make the calls. I don't know. But Jacoby and Guillory and company, you're going to have your work cut out for you. This is USC's most experienced guy, third-year starter, been in that program for a long time, obviously one of the leaders, and he's going to try to get it started and hold things down up the middle.
That is an odd move. Like, nothing to besmirch the center position, but
it's not nearly as impactful as you need a guy who's like, it's more maybe mentally or leadership impactful, but not like actually functionally impactful.
Right. And to make the move inside, I don't know, man.
An 89.1 tackle.
Ethan Posick had a little bit of that.
Yeah, but he always started at center and then would fill in outwards. I've never seen, we have a dominant tackle, let's move him to center.
Yeah.
Does that mean they feel really good about the tackles that they have, or do they just feel awful about the centers that they had?
It's a great question. I mean, they are a group that is going to have some younger players, but it's a nice mix of veteran players because you said, I mean, you're talking about a redshirt senior at the center position, a redshirt senior at the left guard position. Left tackle, it is a redshirt freshman. So, again, it is a younger player. I know they have a sophomore in the starting 5 as well. So,
bit of a mixed bag there.
Yeah, but if you're going to start a redshirt freshman at tackle, going back to your question, and you move a Goodwin to center, you probably feel pretty good about him. Elijah Page is going to be the starting left tackle. So I think if it's a younger player like that and not necessarily like a transfer coming in, tells you they feel good enough to stick him out there.
Yeah. Yeah, which is pretty wild. Here's something else that we mentioned yesterday that's just a bit stinky, you know? I just don't love it. And that is the fact that right now, I'm dealing with numbers from yesterday. It could be a bit different right now this second. But 86% of the bets are on LSU to cover. Yet that line has moved from 6.5 to 4.5, right? So that tells us that, first off, fade the public is a real thing. We see it all the time. Though we can get into, I don't know where I put it. I had a screenshot of a bunch of other numbers from this week, and there's a lot of fade the public lines that you would feel very confident on because it's week one. Whatever. The point is, fade the public's kind of been in play there. And what else that means is there's big, sharp money on USC in this game to move that line with such a high volume of bets being on the other side.
All right, I got the numbers that you sent earlier, T. 88% of the bets on Oklahoma State, -10 against South Dakota State. South Dakota State, number one team in the FCS, received every first-place vote in the preseason
That's
poll.
funny, too, because Oklahoma State got waxed by South Alabama last year.
And South Dakota State, again, mean, nasty, tough. 87% on LSU. That is now -4.5. As you mentioned, opened up at 6. 86% on Alabama, -31.5. 83% on Michigan State. 82% on UGA, -13.5 against Clemson.
Yeah.
That's a big number for 2 touchdowns.
I know.
Big number. 82% on Miami against Florida. That's -2.5 for the Hurricanes. That surprises me. 82% on Michigan, -21.5 versus Fresno State. This one is a shock to me. 77% on Colorado, -9.5 against North Dakota State.
Yeah, interesting, too, that actually opened at 7 and is gone to -9.5. So the money and the public both.
North Dakota State, number 2, by
Colorado
the way,
there.
in the FCS preseason poll. South Dakota State 1, North Dakota State 2.
If there's one thing the Dakotas do, it's play FCS football.
With a lot of fullbacks.
That's what I hate, that Kalen DeBoer hails from those gritty lands. Makes me so angry. All right, when we get back, I got another important statistic that could, or actually, I think I've maybe discovered the most high leverage point of this game, where it's actually going to be decided. Keep it locked right here and Off the Bench.
Off the Bench.
Go to centralplumbing.org, 925-8552, 925-8552. Centralplumbing.org is the website. That's the phone number. You get flat rate pricing. You get licensed, bonded, and insured employees. You get over 50 years of experience. You get excellent warranty coverage once the work is done, so you get peace of mind every step along the way and a general trust that, look, it doesn't matter what it is. Central Plumbing's seen it all. They can fix it all. 24/7 emergency service, a massive fleet. It's not just residential, but commercial as well. Centralplumbing.org, centralplumbing.org.
Yeah, when you go to the website, top right corner, 225-925-8552 is the 24/7, 365 emergency number. But as we always tell you, you'll see right there on the homepage, not only in emergencies, if you're looking to upgrade, then come in your home or business and get that done. Check it out all online again, centralplumbing.org, 225-925-8552.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has back-to-school savings like $16,000 off 25 Ram 1500 trucks. We're open for business in our beautiful new showroom and taking $16,000 off. All new Bayou vehicles come with a complimentary extended warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales service and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Welcome back to Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
All right, so Jake, let me know. And look, obviously with conversations like this, you can always argue, well, no, this is the key, this is the key. Like I said, I think a lot of this will be like LSU O-line just dictating to a D-line, a front seven that they're way bigger than. But is maybe the most important battle in this game LSU secondary against USC's weapons? You saw Lon's stats.
Yeah.
One of the common denominators the last 4 games has been god-awful pass defense, whether it's the third down percentage, the KJ Costello game, the 3 of the 4 games having 10-plus yards per attempt, 2,000 total yards, most of that gained through the air. It has been god-awful. Last year, as a team, LSU was 92nd in the country in team coverage grade. And look, USC's weapons, we're told they're very good. You know, we talk about Zachariah Branch. Is he, won't he? Is he going to explode this year? Maybe. But if they are really good, then is that where you get into trouble? If you can't man up, maybe can't get after the quarterback, you're forced into playing a little on your heels, a little zone. Yeah. Is that actually, because you didn't add any talent in the portal. USC's secondary is a couple of guys from UCLA that were with D'Anton Lynn who are pretty highly rated. You brought in Achille Arnold from Oregon State, who's a part of that very good Beaver defense. LSU kind of stayed pat, and now they're hoping that those same guys can look much better. Again, this goes back to the idea of like the Santucci thing, right? Who will have which D coordinator can get players who looked bad last year to look way better than they've ever looked before?
Yeah, you're right. I mean, you had a player from UCLA. You had one from Oregon State. Those are 2 really good defenses. You also add Greedy Vance, who was, different schools, Florida State and Louisville. That's another defensive back that you added. He's actually from Edna Carr, so a lot of our listeners will remember that name. So, look, there is a lot of new, and that is always tough to project, even though, like, Ramsey's somebody at the free safety that Lynn knows. I mean, he was with him, and so that bodes a little bit, more fair, I think, for you because he does know your system, knows your checks, knows all those things. But, look, as we've seen here, like, it can be really good, it can be really bad. It can be great communication, it can be really bad communication when you bring in transfers, and so that's something we'll certainly have to see. Like 2 years ago for LSU, it was fantastic. You brought in a bunch of transfers through the portal at DB, worked out well for you. You went to an SEC championship game last year. You did the same thing. It did not go well for you. I mean, that thing was held together with duct tape and super glue by the end of it. You did add Gilbert from Texas A&M.
True, and he'll play a role.
And so like he's going to be a starter. So you did add at least one body in there. So yeah, sure, yeah, it's going to be.
But again, I'm talking specifically LSU's secondary against USC's weapon.
Right, it's going to. That's what I'm saying.
If our receivers don't win, then the running game better be cooking.
It's good. Look, there are going to be challenges. They are going to make their plays. It is a room like again. Zachariah Branch, I know why we are talking about him. Bruce Feldman's freak list. The talent is there. We'll see if he explodes onto the scene like everyone's expecting. I'm not as concerned for Branch as I am Deuce Robinson. Deuce Robinson is a tight end playing receiver.
Mm-hmm.
All right. He is every bit of 6'6", 220 pounds. And he played a lot of tight end. He's going to split out this year. Like they are going to move him all around. He's going to line up at Z. He's going to line up at X. He'll line up at F. He's going to be all over the place. Who do you have that you feel comfortable guarding that player? That's the one for that. That's the matchup for me because he is a mismatch. Explosive plays, right? We talk about Branch, 10 yards per catch last year. Well, Deuce Robinson was over 20.
Yeah.
I mean, he had more plays. I'm trying to get the exact numbers because it was, I mean, the numbers on it were pretty crazy. Let's see. 16 catches for 351 yards.
Yeah, I mean, the bowl game
21.9 per catch.
The bowl game was like 2 for 60 with 2 touchdowns or something like that.
So that is the mismatch that they have. You have to have a plan for him. Who do you put on him? If you go back to cover one, which Blake likes to do, who is going to be on Deuce Robinson? That's where I'm going to pay attention to the most. And also, like real quick, another thing, I think it's so important for LSU to run the football because if it's not going well for your defense, what do? You keep the ball away from them. You win the time of possession.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, exactly. That's another thing.
You didn't do that. You didn't do that last year because you couldn't. You had to score every time you had the football. You didn't have the ability to try to take the game away in time of possession.
So again, it's all these elements starting to swirl together, guys. Flestering coming up next.
He's coming?
Off the bench.
He is.
What?
He's on the way.
Oh
he might even be here.
No.
All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge, allstartoyotabatonrouge.com. You need a new vehicle, maybe a Toyota certified used vehicle, or you still get warranty coverage that you can choose kind of the level that you want. Maybe you need a rent with a cheaper per day rental price than traditional rental companies. Maybe you want to lease. Whatever. You get the point, right? It's all there at All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge. I don't know if I'm crazy. You know how sometimes you can just be like, oh, I'm seeing the number like 53 everywhere. Well, am I, or does it just mean something to me? What I'm getting at is I've seen a lot of murdered out minis, murdered out Siennas specifically on the streets lately. And I just want to say shout out to the homies. For everybody rolling around in the mini gang, the murdered out mini gang, the mom gang, you're seen. Shout out All-Star Toyota.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales service and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue.
Good morning. It's 8 a.m. here on Wednesday, August 28th. Today in Baton Rouge, you can expect rainy skies with a high of 94. In hour 2 of today's show, Matt Flynn stops by the studio for a full hour of flustering. You can follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN and watch us on YouTube at the 104.5 ESPN channel. Hour number 2 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios, starts now.
Flush the format. Throw away the rundown.
Okay, here we go.
It's time for a bit of unscripted conversation with former LSU and NFL quarterback Matt Flynn.
Let's give them something to talk about.
Off the Bench presents Flustering. Now, here's T-Bob Hebert, Jacob Hester, and Matt Flynn.
Did we just become best friends? Yes.
Yo, what up, y'all? This is OTB, hour number 2 on a Wednesday, which means Matt Flynn is here.
Is that new?
That is new. Yeah, we got all new imaging on the station.
Sounds great.
I like it. It only took, how long you been doing this? 6 years?
6 years.
For you to get your.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. One thing I like about it, and of course, like
shout out to Alondra for getting that done.
Mm-hmm.
Chat's constantly like, but like I've been in this business long enough. I've just learned like, anytime you change something, people get pissed, and then they don't care like a week later, and it never matters. Remember we got rid of second lines, headlines, like whatever.
Yeah, I'm still getting used to it myself, but
I like it because it's snappier, no wasted motion.
You and
just
snaps.
off the bench, in and out. No, I mean like we don't need it's just off the bench. Bam, let's get back into the segment. Let's get out of the segment.
Yesterday.
So what's the difference? They got rid of deep voice guy?
Yeah, they got rid of deep voice guy. That's one of the differences. Speaking of the mic there, Matt.
Oh, wow. Yesterday was year number 10 for me in sports media. 10 years ago yesterday was when I started CST.
Nice. I'm coming up, I guess basically at the start of this football season, this will be year 11. 2013 was my first year doing this. So
I remember seeing you as a young beat writer or something like that in the Saints locker room.
Yes. And that's what I'm counting. I'm counting that as the actual beginning when I started doing like daily shows for WWL. I'm not counting when I was fake selling ads and doing Mondays and Thursdays here. Otherwise, I would tack on another year.
Always in Gonzales. Where you at T selling in Gonzales?
Just pounding the pavement. By the pavement, I mean smoking and playing 21 in Lake Beaupre with my friends who are still in college.
Shout out Lake Beaupre.
I was a dog at 21, dude. At that time, I was an absolute beast.
Why is this microphone so rusty? I need a tetanus shot.
You know why? And you really want to answer because you don't want to answer. You don't want to think about it.
I mean, I got it.
What creates rust, Matt?
moisture.
I get it.
Yeah, what is constantly flying out of our mouth while we yell into these mics every day that we all share?
You were asking me to step closer to the mic. I was purposefully stepping away
I know.
from it.
Just make sure you don't smell it. You smell the mic one time and you can never not smell it, and it makes you want to throw up.
Why'd you do that?
Jacobs
Don't sniff it.
isn't rusty.
Why is it hard? I made Bo replace them not too long ago, but I didn't do anything to Rusty.
I guess when that looks awful. I don't even want to look at that.
That one's caked up.
Mine's
that must
ignorance
be
is bliss. I just keep my sight lines right above it.
That must be the one that when Matt's going off on his Bama is burning.
No, that's the Dick Condon mic right there.
Oh,
yeah. That's
okay.
that's the Dick Condon mic right there. This is the Bama's burning mic. So you can clearly see I've got quite
That's
the
pretty
cake.
good. Now, no,
Quite
I'm
the
the
cake
only person
myself.
that talks on this one because every other show's a
that's true.
solo
Look at
show.
you, little fancy mic boy. You got your own mic there, bro.
Yeah.
Matt,
because Taylor definitely grabs the same one every day.
actually, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if
Maybe
it's
he does.
or not.
I don't know.
Matt,
What's up?
bro,
What's up?
Nuts Bus.
Oh,
Sunday night.
Oh, let's go.
Finally, something something that you've been championing for years. You are maybe the truest Garrett Nussmeier believer that I know. He is.
I might be the bus driver.
Yes, you are the Chris Farley in this situation, and he is your Lisan Agaib.
I think they're singing Veronica Vaughn, but
have you seen Dune 2? I didn't think that was going to land with you. Have you seen Dune 2?
Yeah.
Oh, look at you. Okay,
I also read
Matt.
the first book.
What?
Yep.
No way.
Sure did.
Which is both of
Which
the
is
movies.
both movies.
Oh my God! Look at wow.
Yeah.
Okay, well I am taken aback. I thought I was going to sneak one past you.
Look, what I fear the most is everybody trying to jump on the bandwagon and forgetting the little people who were there from the beginning.
He was.
Like, I don't know if you ever heard of him, but Nick Saban trying to jump on the Nuss Bus right now.
Yeah.
What did he say over this weekend on game day? I missed it. I saw tweets about it, but I didn't see
He
it.
said something about he'll be like the biggest hidden
See if you can find me
gem
that,
or something
Tate.
like that.
See if you can find me.
Yeah, he jumped on
Nick
it pretty
Saban's
hard.
Bold
statements.
And he's known him as, Nuss's dad was once an assistant coach for Saban at Alabama.
So Matt, how about this? I had you on a few weeks ago, Jake. I think you were out, and I went through some projected stats for Nuss that somebody had put out there. It's from On 3, Matthew Brune did, and they were pretty intense. They were like 30-something touchdowns, 3,200 yards, and I expected Matt.
You said 3,200 yards.
Yeah. And I expected Matt to be like, I think it was like 36. But anyway, it doesn't matter. Because the point is, I thought you were going to maybe balk and be like, it's his first year. But no, you were kind of like, no, look, man, like, he's that good. Like, these are attainable. This is not crazy. So as we sit here on the edge of week one, this massive test, national stage, I'm guessing the ratings using my just like general experience in this business will be around like 10 million.
Yeah.
So the entire country, like that's what the biggest of college football games hit 10 million during the regular season. So the entire country is essentially going to be watching. What do you think needs to happen for Nuss to fulfill that potential, to have the game that you want to see from? I guess I'm getting it because yesterday Will Campbell's like, we're going to run the ball. So maybe the question is like, as a young starter, how much does it help having a great running game to fall back on?
As a young star, yeah. Running game is always going to take a lot of pressure off the quarterback.
Yeah. Or you could just turn around and hand the old number 18.
Yeah.
18, he can do it again. He can hand it to this 18.
Even if you're just doing it to imply the threat later on.
Yeah.
It's something that if you can lean on that, obviously very important. But leading up to the game, like Garrett's at the level of skill and quality of quarterback. He's going to be a high level quarterback, and he might start out that way, but he's going to get his yards. He's going to get the impressive throws. He's going to get the touchdowns. It's just early on in his starting quarterback career, can he avoid the game losing mistake?
Yeah,
the game changing mistake,
which he did in the bowl game.
And I think early on in his career, that might have been the knock coming out of camps and practices about him. Like he's kind of that gunslinger mentality, which you want that. You want that deep down, but you want to minimize mistake on it. So can he do that early on? I think he'll get to that level.
Yeah.
He will certainly, if he does make a mistake, there's going to be a time where it clicks on him. It's like we saw with Jaden. I'm not comparing either one. I'm just saying you saw it from early on where Jaden was making mistakes, not reading it out, and then all of a sudden it was like, holy hell, this guy is seeing everything.
Yeah. So BK had a quote. It was early in camp, and I'm paraphrasing here, but he was basically like, look, those moments that you're talking about when Nuss would come in and it would look like the ultimate gunslinger, he goes, well, of course he was. Like, that was his time. That was his only time. And some of it was in mop-up duty. And, yeah, he was trying to go make a play. He was trying to make a name for himself, trying to have a splash kind of play. He goes, like, that isn't who he's always been. And he's like, look, I understand that. You're in there, and you know that way better than we do. You get limited time when you're not the starter. And when you get in there, if they called a pass play when you were in there, you weren't checking it down.
Yeah.
You know, you were going to try to make a play. That's what you know, that was your one opportunity to try to make an impression.
Well, if you have the balls, though, I feel like some quarterbacks would just want to check it down.
Well, I feel like him and Nuss have kind of the same mentality.
They do. They have the same balls.
Just think about at quarterback, and you get one time to shine. You get one time of like the starter gets 25 reps in practice. You get 2. During the season. Maybe you get 2, right? You get a lot of scout. But then you get a chance in the game. And then as a competitor, you're like, okay, I just watched an offense that scored literally, every single drive they got the ball. We better score. We better hit some big plays. So it's like you're always going to be pushing the ball downfield. And it's like a no-lose situation for you.
Yeah.
I mean, the game's not on the line, anything like that. So you're always trying to like keep up with the Joneses in practice. Like, especially if you're competing or you're seeing other quarterbacks do things, you're like, all right, well, I got to do that too.
Yeah, and you're running the ball a lot in that situation, and you get a pass play, you're like, oh my God, I actually get to throw it.
Yeah. Like
for you, back in the day, our offense was a little different. Like you heard 35 pin Indy, and you're like, that's a basic play, and you're probably like, oh my God, 35 pin Indy. When in reality, that's a very basic pass play, but you're like, I'm going to make the most out of this play because
usually it was run, 3rd and 8, 144 Ohio. And it was like play action.
I was going to say
21 personnel.
I couldn't remember the combination with it.
Sliding the line.
It's a
very
play action
easy.
Fake and one receiver out route. I remember coming in the SEC championship when Jamarcus got hurt. First play of the game, or first pass play of the game, and it was obviously a pass situation. 144 Ohio. Okay. Pick.
Yeah.
Pick 6, I think.
Yeah.
Wait, pick 6?
Yeah.
When was this 05?
Yeah. This is
05.
I was at that game. Yeah. I was at, but I don't remember that play actually.
I remember going.
I do.
I remember going into the game. So Jamarcus gets hurt. I think it's the second half. I'm pretty sure
it was already out of hand.
So I come out.
They'd already,
and I go in the game and like we're backed up on the 5 or something like that, and we're down by like 3 scores. I can't remember. Don't quote me on that.
Perfect time for a one receiver out.
Miles looks at me and he takes me, puts his hand on his shoulder. He's like, I remember a quarterback came in a similar situation like this. His name was Joe Montana. I was like, all right, here we go. Let's come back. And then 3 plays later, pick 6.
Oh, my God.
We were never going to win that game.
Oh, my God. Oh, man, it's so good. Do you remember? So, Matt, was your first major start then the Peach Bowl?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Do you remember what you felt like mentally going into it? Like,
I was
were the nerves overwhelming? Like, how did
I was
you feel?
surprisingly unnerved. So I was always a really nervous guy.
Yeah.
I would get nervous as the backup quarterback, like every game. But that game, I was surprisingly unnervous.
Wow.
Like at game time.
Yeah.
Driving to the game, like uncontrollable nerves.
Yeah.
Right. Driving to the game, it's like, you get on the bus, and it wasn't necessarily like that because we were staying downtown. But like, I remember my first start in the NFL. It's like a 30-minute drive, and it's like, you're like, oh God, I hope I never see the stadium. I hope I never see the stadium. And then all of a sudden, the stadium pops up in the horizon. You're like, oh God, we got to do this. Here we go.
Yeah. There's no stopping the train.
There's no stopping
Like,
it. You're not.
this
This bus is not breaking down.
Yeah.
Like we're gonna be thrown out there on national TV. Just exposed. But no, I remember walking through like the they had the like the walk through the fans thing at the Peach Bowl.
Yeah.
And then I remember at that point, I was like, oh, these guys. I mean, everyone's kind of drunk. They don't care. Let's go do this.
Dude,
Well, probably the same in Vegas.
Gosh, that game was just perfect. Like everything that we did.
So,
perfect.
I remember it was crazy. I was actually at Toledo Bend watching. I remember.
So do y'all remember we had at our hotel that week, the week we played Miami in 05, we had like the banquet, like the bowl game banquet that morning where both teams showed up.
Yeah, it's early, super early.
Like an FCA thing?
Yeah. That might have been right.
Thing, but with FCA. And
that might have been right. Stuff. Well, like so they at the first floor where all the buses for the teams, they had to walk by where our makeshift weight room was.
Yeah.
And so
I love this story.
When Miami came out afterwards, like all the strength coaches for LSU, they were in there getting their workout in, like pumping iron. So, we got a bunch of meatheads, jacked up dudes. And there was one guy, similar height, build, was working out and was like squatting he was power cleaning like 400 pounds. And all these guys, they have like the big jacked up music going. And he's like power cleaning 400 pounds, like doing all this weight. And Moffitt's in there going, yeah, Matt Flynn, get it, Matt Flynn. As Miami's walking by.
Damn, they thought you were Jalen Hurts. They thought you were Jalen Hurts in there. Oh, my, Moffitt with the next level mind game.
Just screaming, Matt Flynn, get it.
All right, last one here for you, Matt, before we go to break. Did you feel like, you mentioned that calm that washed over you? A lot of times it's a calm that, it can come in pregame. Sometimes it's like the first hit, the classic cliches. But how Moffitt always said, prior preparation prevents poor performance, right? Do you think it was ultimately your prep to that point and your experience that led you to finding that calm?
Yeah. Anytime you get a chance to prep. So you're more nervous coming in as a backup.
Yeah, because you're just kind of being thrown
because you're just thrown in there. Nerves are completely normal, right?
Yeah.
To have.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you don't have nerves, it doesn't. Yeah, exactly. It means you don't care.
Yeah.
But the next level, there's a next level of nervousness that's like bordering scared if you're not prepared, right?
Yeah.
If you're not prepared for it, like I knew we had a good game plan. I knew our team was awesome.
We were so good that year.
Moffitt always says that was the best team.
We were so good.
Right,
Katrina and everything just made it all crazy.
Then you got to think about the human element if you're like aware enough to do that. And say those guys over there are pretty nervous too.
Yeah,
like everyone's on the same playing field.
Yeah, true.
But like if you're not prepared and as a backup, a lot of times you are absolutely not. You can mentally prepare it as much as you can.
You're not getting the reps.
How different was that though? Because you and Nuss have a very similar career. You've played, y'all have had moments for sure, big moments, big plays, and you've waited, right? You've stuck around. You didn't take your ball and go home. And so now he's going to be experiencing kind of what you experienced against Mississippi State in 2007, right? Because you had a game in which you started, and it was great. Everything worked out well. Same thing for Nuss against Wisconsin. What was it like for that game compared to like Miami 05 is probably a different feeling than 07 Mississippi State where it was your team?
Yeah. Good question. And I remember that was the opening.
Yeah, Thursday night.
I mean, it helps.
First game of college football.
It helps when your defense has like 5 picks.
Stelty
sure.
had, I think, 3 of them. Yeah.
I remember watching that at Beaupre, Smitty's house.
I remember being nervous, but like that was the year of just like ignorant confidence always. I just remember being uber confident going into it. I just felt like this was
young and dumb.
My team, just young. Yeah,
well, is that because you had been here so long? Like you had been on a national championship team, right?
It was like it was definitely like a finally feeling.
Yeah,
like finally, because if you remember, like Les didn't just like hand me the keys to the car early on. Like I don't even know if he ever officially named me starter or what. I mean, I was always
probably not.
I was always like the starter, like in practice and from a team aspect. I think everyone just kind of knew it, but I was never like, all right, He is the starter. It's his job. So I never got that moment. I just always kind of.
So there was even
it,
more of a sense of peace and calm from the bowl game to that first start of the next year. I'm just now realizing as we're talking this out.
2 years.
Oh, it would have been 2 years.
It wasn't
right?
the next season.
Yeah.
He had to sit.
I was going to say
and then
that's
play
so
again.
similar to Nuss, but I guess that's true. There was that little gap in between. So maybe Nuss finds some of that same peace.
Well,
then.
look, I coming off my first start, kind of like I remember my confidence was never higher than after that Peach Bowl. Like I truly
Nuss
believe
should be feeling very good.
I
after
truly
that
believed
bowl game.
after that, like the job was mine. Like DeMarcus was going to be my backup. Like after that game, that's what I believed.
A lot of fans, a lot of fans did too.
And then that was kind of dumb because he was #1 draft pick.
Didn't he win the Maxwell?
You know what?
He won the Manning.
You know what? Yeah. That's. I mean, just maybe I'm dumb, but like I said, ignorant confidence, baby.
Young, dumb, and full of confidence.
Spirals.
All right. When we get back, more flestering. Keep it locked right here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench.
Hey, y'all, I keep reminding you to come visit the Queen, your home for the NFL and college football this year. Go check out the new DraftKings Sportsbook right there in the Queen, man. It is so nice. They got these great lounge setups. You can chill, watch the games, gamble live, drinks, food. 1717's right next door to the restaurant, which has excellent drinks, excellent food, great deals going down. Pop over and get some of Shaq's Big Chicken. Completely renovated top to bottom. It's going to blow you away. If you haven't been to the Queen, go check it out today. Visit thequeenbr.com for more details. Must be 21. Get a problem, call 1-877-770-STOP.
Yeah, go check it out because it is, like T-Bob said, it is completely renovated. You are not going to recognize it. Him and I went out there a couple of weeks ago. We were blown away, and you can join us this football season so many different times. We are going to be out there. Come hang out with us for the NFL opener, thequeenbr.com.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales service and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Was an evening.
Welcome back to Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
What's happening, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. Flustering going down. T-Bob, Jake, Matt, Elijah Villarreal, and Taylor Sharp. Hanging out with you today. Taylor, you did great on Friday when we were out. Forgot to tell you that.
Thank
the
you.
last 2 days.
Yeah, it's
Proud
fine. I didn't expect you to say that. So
you know what sucks for Taylor?
That's nice. Good moment.
All the other 4 people in this room are going to be in Las Vegas this weekend. And he's going to be stuck here in the studio.
In Walker.
Hey,
alone.
Good.
Where are you going to watch the game?
Bro, there ain't a better place to watch the game than on my couch.
The older I get, I don't disagree with that.
I walk
away
back and forth
game.
between
Away game. Home
my
game in the
room
stadium.
and the living room, depending on how the game's going.
Taylor, you should do like a live watch video.
Yeah.
I bet that'd be
right here in the
dynamic.
studio.
We used to do that. We used to do the fan cave.
You and I have done those for
Yes.
events.
Many beers.
Oh yeah, we watched the Natty here at one time.
Oh yeah, because Moscona was making fun of Matt bringing Costco whiskey. Maybe.
Yeah.
He had his nose up at it.
Matt,
It was delicious.
I think
So good.
Matt also
Best value out there.
Maybe I too casually drank some like really nice whiskey at one point.
Oh yes, you did. Like you threw it back.
I have no problem with. I love all liquor. So this is not really actually
Love the good stuff. Love the
saying
bad
that much.
stuff.
Yeah, I mean I don't love like the bad, but like, you know,
Let's get a Brita filter.
there's the cutoff is not the highest. Like my standards are not the are not the highest for sure. Matt, what are you thinking this weekend about Penn State, West Virginia?
West Virginia.
Oh hell yeah! Actually, for real, have you seen their quarterback, Garrett Green? He's like a little Manziel, dude. He's awesome.
He's like a what?
He's like a 5'11", just tough son of a gun who runs it and throws it big time. He's like second in big time throw rate to Drake May over the last 2 years. But he also ran for like 13 touchdowns and 800 yards last year. It's a little tough boy.
Love West Virginia. I think Penn State's just a little paper tiger over there.
Yeah, a little paper line, a little paper
Nittany.
Paper Nittany. What is a Nittany? I actually don't know.
I mean, they're always good, just super irrelevant.
Wait, bro,
At the
did
end
you
of the day.
watch any week 0? Did you watch FSU Georgia Tech?
I sure did.
What do you think about Haynes King?
Crushed it. I love their offense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So give us
Great.
because I
That was
want to hear your opinions on that Georgia Tech offense. I mean, listen to Aaron Murray on
So
snaps.
I was at a
spout about
conference
it.
at the time slinging some My High, so I had it like on an iPad, like on the table. So
Oh, look at
like
you,
when
big football guy,
big
dude.
football guy,
Big football guy
big
move
football
there,
guy,
dude.
So I had it on there, and I was just like watching as I could. But every time I watched it, they were destroying Florida State's like spirit on the the offensive line, just destroying them. I kept waiting for, when you usually have an underdog versus a team like that everyone respects and everyone thinks is going to be good. Like every time they go on the field, you're nervous because it's like, all right, Florida State's going to flip the switch and they're going to stuff them. But it was like,
Cinderella, like the clock has to strike midnight.
Yeah,
right.
The
You're gonna
fourth
turn
down,
back into
the
a
fourth
punt.
down conversions. I thought I was like, oh, here it goes.
Here it is.
Yeah.
Georgia
This is
Tech's
it.
dominated the line of scrimmage, and Florida State's going to find a way.
Haynes King's going to like
Throw
start
a
being
dumb pick or something.
inaccurate.
Yeah.
But oh god, it was just ugly.
He
it was ugly from an offense, like from the from the trenches standpoint.
Yeah.
Which it kind of had to be for them to win that game. But
I mean, look, I want this LSU O-line to do the same thing to USC that Georgia Tech O-line did, and they should be able to. Again, size isn't everything, but LSU's O-line averaged 6'6", 320. USC's D-line 6'3", 290. Like, and USC's front seven has been a bit of a joke the last couple of years. D'Anton Lynn can do a lot. And again, guys, remember, taking that UCLA defense from 111 to 8th in the country in 1 year. But you can't coach size, right? You can't just make these guys bigger, stronger, and faster. So here's to hoping. I want LSU to be Georgia Tech. Never thought I'd say it.
Well, they did something LSU couldn't do.
Show massive improvement because of a D coordinator change where players who were not good before suddenly look night and day better and just dominate in the trenches and run the hell out of the ball.
Did Georgia Tech run that similar offense last year? I'm assuming.
Yes.
Because Haynes was a stud last year.
Yeah, he led the conference in touchdown passes with 27.
Yep.
He also ran for 7 or 8 more. He just threw like 16 picks. He also almost led the country there.
Yeah.
So
Well,
he just has to shave down some of that gunslinger.
I mean, look, he's a track guy. Like in high school, he ran track at Longview. And you know what kind of program Longview is. Y'all probably, if
he was like a state champion.
We're on the district or probably
yeah, we were rivals.
We played Longview all the time. It's a big program. I mean, he's a big time recruit coming out of high school.
Yeah.
And he went to A&M and it didn't work out. And him and Jimbo didn't mesh, I guess. And he was also injured. He's a talented dude. I mean, he can get it done for sure.
Yeah, Buster Faulkner is the OC.
Yeah,
and he was there last year.
I was watching this. I was a guy that didn't watch one snap of Georgia Tech football last year. No reason to
No, I didn't
do
really
it, right?
either, and I
So
averaged
I turned this game on and not really knowing what to see, and I was like, "What team is this? Georgia Tech?
Yeah, they look fast.
Are they not running the triple option right now?
Right. Yeah.
And I was like, this is dynamic.
Yeah, it was good.
And that's what's funny because it's you can see some of those old concepts just wrapped up in new trappings because, it's not the triple option, but like everything felt built off of that jet sweep, right? Instead of built off the dive.
The stretch zones that they were running were beautiful.
I mean, it's certainly not helping like Haynes get prepared for the NFL.
No,
by any means,
no,
but,
no,
I mean,
no. It's going to be tough to translate, and he's probably going to suffer because of it. But it's going to be fun as hell in college.
But just like the triple option, I mean, what a royal pain in the ass it is for defensive coordinators.
Yeah.
The week prior to it.
Well, he was so accurate on those quick throws, too, that just become extensions of the running game, whereas DJU, that was maybe the biggest thing about doing some DJU film review, which you should go check out on Snaps. Aaron broke it down. Very good.
Hey, look.
His problems were mainly inaccuracy. The decision-making wasn't bad, right? And there's definitely a lack of threat, certainly over the top, but even on the shorter throws a lot of times, he just wasn't putting it where it needed to be, and he was just leaving yards on the field all over the place.
Just think about the conference, Aaron. Bold prediction here. I'm a Georgia Tech guy now.
Me too.
I think fringe playoff team.
Go Jackets! They have a very tough schedule, but if they
At the back end, they could be like 7-0 when they play Notre Dame, but the back end of that schedule is brutal. I love the motion they used to set up like everything. They were moving on every play.
Who they got at the end of the year?
Oh, look, I'll lay it out for you. It is real difficult. All right, here we go. All right. So to start the season, Florida State, obviously. Then Georgia State at Syracuse, VMI at Louisville, Duke at North Carolina. You could win all of those games. Sure, you could have a slip up at Louisville, at Syracuse. We'll see. But after that, Notre Dame in Mercedes-Benz, so in Atlanta, but not at your home, at Virginia Tech, Miami, NC State, at Georgia.
Sheesh.
Pretty tough, Bo.
I like them losing one game this season.
Yeah, there you go. 11-1. Your Jackets
Hey,
going all the way.
They are
hydrated.
They're hydrated.
Are they hydrated?
They are hydrated.
Is that
Hydration.
new? Were they hydrated last year?
They were not.
Wow. So that's why you decided to tune in finally. I know correlation doesn't always equal causation, but in this case it might, guys.
I just want you to know that very hydrated teams this past on week 0, 3-0.
Yep.
3-0 for the My High boys. DrinkMyHigh.com, guys, by the way. If I don't know if you're not drinking My High, how you made it through summer. I drink My High literally every single day. It's incredible. My kids are obsessed with the My High Freezy Pops, which they think is like a tasty treat, but really I'm like, joke's on you kids.
Healthy.
It's healthy. Y'all are getting electrolytes and such, you dummies.
And such.
You dummies.
Drinkmyhigh.com. Yeah, I mean, look, travel. A lot of people get dehydrated during travel. They're in Ireland, Florida State. Is Florida State hydrated?
No, not yet.
Oh, wow. Okay, come on. Norvell, what you doing, bro?
Not being hydrated.
Keep up.
Not being hydrated.
All right.
Losing week with 0 games.
When we get back, more flustering. Keep it locked here on OTB.
Off the bench.
Go to Tommy's Windows, Doors, and Siding. That's GEAUX Tommy's.com. That's for all your, well, you guessed it, windows, doors, and siding. So like Hardy Plank or vinyl siding, wood or vinyl windows, any type of door, it's all there at Tommy's. Make them one of the bids, man. You get a free professional estimate. Of course, everybody's licensed, bonded, insured. Every year they've been in existence, they won that Angie Super Service Award because they go the extra mile for their customers. And that's why I'm so confident in their integrity and their dependability. That's why I tell you to just make them a bid. I'm not telling you have to just outright you make them a bid and let Tommy and the team prove to you why they are the correct person for your job to bring your home to the next level. GoTommys.com.
Yeah, when you go to the website, check out the gallery of work that they have done. Check out the testimonials from past clients. But also remember, if you don't see the job that you want, they can customize your job. Have them out to the house. They'll tell you exactly how they can get that done. GoTommys.com.
Back to school savings at Bayou Ford. $12,000 off F-150. $12,000 off the new 2024 Ford F-150. And $10,000 off Expedition. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a complimentary extended warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding. But our number one product is always customer satisfaction. Visit us online at reliefwindows.com.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial properties. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local.
Welcome back to Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
What's going on, y'all? Huh, interesting.
Yeah.
Hearing some whispers that maybe
Yeah.
one of the under-talked about things that was going down during camp was some poor CQ exchange of the shotgun variety. Taylor, you've been out at every practice. Can you confirm or deny this?
Yeah, I mean, I think we talked about it one time when I was telling you about the picks that Nuss threw at 11 on 11. It's because the snap was a little low, the rush was coming, so he's just having to rush his throw. Like he's not even looking. It's kind of like a grip and rip thing. That was a few times I was out there. Now, they weren't all bad, but...
Well, I mean, they can't be all bad. Like, if they're all bad, then it's like you can't play the position.
It was one of those things. It's like there were a few every day that I noticed, for sure.
Don't like that.
It's one of the worst.
It's gonna be so frustrating as a quarterback.
Feeling as a quarterback, not just even shotgun. Even if it's like you're having bad CQ exchange under center, it's like that's all you can think about pre-snap. Like you can't think about what they're doing. You're just like,
Looms
get
so
your hands
large.
in there. Where's he gonna snap it? Why is his ass so wet?
How can you have a bad under center CQ exchange? I mean, a fumbled snap is what it is. I never had one, so I wouldn't know. But like, fumbled snap is what it is. But to be bad to the point of being distracting is shocking to me. I just always felt that
even in the NFL, there were centers that you were nervous about taking.
I guess I just don't understand that because I always felt like that is one of the most under your control elements of the game. You can practice snapping like whenever you want.
Yeah, but you can't practice like some centers are just inconsistent from underneath the center. Like when you're taking under snaps, you can't practice shaded nose on you.
I know,
or
that's fair.
zero nose.
That's fair.
Or having to shoot out and get low. So you'd get guys that would carry the ball with them a little bit. They would move and snap
for
at
sure,
the same time.
for sure.
Right,
Because you have to snap, step, and punch all at the same time. But you gotta.
Yeah, but you still have to
the
pause.
ball has to go to the same spot anyway.
Yep. But as the gun, you don't want it because you're thinking about it, like where's it going to be, and then you never want to have to drop your eyes. Like you want to be able to catch the ball.
I cannot
and never even look at it.
And I know this is going to sound so stupid because it is. But I've been streaming a lot of that NCAA football game, and I'm out here, trying to read coverages. Oh, is he playing inside leverage? Did he flip his hips? Okay, I got him on this route. I cannot fathom playing actual quarterback, having to pick a ball up off the ground and then try to figure out what has happened defensively. Like, what do you do at that point? You just immediately go check down?
You hope that your guy just won really bad. Like
so you're just thinking your pre-snap read, and you're like, all right, screw it.
Like you still probably know where the pre-snap read is, but you don't know a post-snap read.
Like,
you don't know post-snap. You just look. Like it depends on how bad it is, how far you have to move to get it. You pick it up and you go to like your first read. Sometimes you're kind of guessing on like if it's a play where like a total pre-snap read as far as cover one, I'm going to the right. Too high, I'm going left. Like sometimes you just got to pick a side and guess, and you just hope that your first read won.
Sheesh.
And it works out a lot of times. Like, okay, my number one, I got a flat route here. Let me throw it to him, take 2 yards, and move it. But it still sucks.
How much when you talk about catching the snap, how much mental awareness of it is there in an ideal world?
You should have no mental
awareness. Just like it's come to me, and I can do it almost on a subconscious
I don't even
level.
remember ever catching one that was a good snap.
Okay.
And the really good centers, they practice. They know exactly how to hold it where they snap it, and you want to knuckleball. You never want to spin it. So
that's interesting. I always spun it.
You want a knuckleball for the quarterback. You want a knuckleball, and the good centers could snap it to where it hits your fingers, the laces hit your fingers perfect when you caught it.
I know, but I always under center tried to snap the laces into the fingers. I never got. So that's straight extra point style there, where you're getting into the rotation.
We would practice. I remember we would practice with Helms, and then like I'd be like, all right, I was 2 inches off the laces, and he would scoot his hand over, his thumb over on where he was holding it, and he would snap it, and so the laces would hit your fingers perfectly every time. So like if you had to throw it out quick.
Damn, I never thought about laces. I always tried to get it right on this right shoulder though, so if you were throwing the ball, you could.
You know what, lefties? You were a lefty snapper.
Yeah.
Lefties always spun it. I don't know why.
That's just how my old man taught me how to shotgun snap. He said just think about throwing it upside down.
Oh.
And then when I got in college, a lot of centers that were maybe coming to position late started doing the new thing where you like would put the nose of the ball on the ground and you would just straight knuckleball it back. But But I don't know. I always thought that looked weird coming in like that.
Yeah, it kind of does. But the knuckleball is good because the quarterback can grab it. It's not like it's just you can palm it and good deep snappers too. If you're a holder, good deep snappers can do it to where the laces were
that's
out
what I mean. The
time.
extra point thing. I remember like in deep snapping, getting used to that, getting the feeling of okay, I can actually set this up and hit the 2.5 rotation, whatever it is, so that it most of the time will be where it's supposed to.
As a holder, if I had to spin it, it's like you'd go up to the
college,
deep snapper.
you did.
Yeah, and like deep snapper, you'd go up and be like, "Hey,
what's up?
What's up? Like,
what's up, dude?
What happened?"
Now, no, like I'm not besmirching the guys that we had, but in college, like because I was Matt's backup, like you'd catch it, you'd have to like spin that thing like all the way around. In the NFL, I got there and I was saying I was a backup holder, and we had Dave Ben. He'd been in the league 17 years. Also dated Pam Anderson. Shout out to Dave Ben.
Shout out.
Like literally, the laces would hit you in your right hand like every time, literally every time, and you just put it down. That's it.
Just put it down.
Like this is easy.
Yeah.
I don't have to spin this thing and make sure I don't tilt too much.
So I guess the overall point of this is that's something to watch out for Sunday night. And I hope it does not rear its ugly head, because those are the type of preventable mistakes that can create missteps that loom way larger than they should. I mean, look at Alabama last year. There was a consistent theme with them, and then it gets them into trouble on the biggest play of the season. Got to have it, 4th down, in overtime, balls on the ground. Milroe panics, just runs immediately into the line, game over.
Yeah, it's true. That's super frustrating.
Holden Mayo says this making me want to go take a few snaps with my neighbor. I still love snapping. I can't throw football at all anymore, but I can still shotgun the hell out of it, dude. So much fun. All right, when we get back, let's wrap up this flustering. Drink My High, guys. DrinkMyHigh.com.
Off the bench.
Go to Trash Rangers. For all of your waste management needs, you want to go to Trash Rangers, guys. Now, guess what? TrashRangers.com. It is that easy. TrashRangers.com. The new website looks great. Trash Rangers, your local waste management experts that give a damn if you get in touch with them for commercial pickup, or residential pickup. Guess what? They do. They even like text you the night beforehand so you never forget to put out your cans again. But if you're a business, Matt, and you need front load dumpsters, if you need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, even 6 days a week, Trash Rangers can handle that, man. As well as any size roll-off dumpsters for whatever project you need. Go to TrashRangers.com.
Yeah, when you go to the website, check out what T-Bob's talking about and what they can do for you and also your business. Remember, roll-off dumpsters, we are talking to everyone in the greater Baton Rouge area. If you've got a project at your home, at your business, 3 different sizes to choose from, they'll make sure you have the right one. Go to the website today, TrashRangers.com.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has back-to-school savings like $16,000 off 25 Ram 1500 trucks. We're open for business in our beautiful new showroom and taking $16,000 off. All new Bayou vehicles come with a complimentary extended warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
It's an everyday thing here. We work horses in the mornings and we work on the property during the day, and without these John Deere tractors, it'd almost be impossible to keep up with the place. I've dealt with some of the other colors and stuff, and I never really got the response back that I get from John Deere, We really enjoy dealing with Sunshine. They're good people. They always check on us and make sure our equipment's running, and we love them. Flip the switch and learn more about what it means to be powered by Sunshine at sunequip.com.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
and looking forward to 50 more.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so
Welcome back to Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
What's happening, y'all? Welcome back, OTB. Matt, this is your final chance to talk about LSU-USC before
before the game.
Before the game, for Sunday.
Sure.
Thank you.
Talk about it afterwards.
Yeah, we have to. You don't.
What are we thinking, Doug? I mean, you'll talk about it next Wednesday, obviously. We'll react to it. Will we be reacting?
Will he be here 2 weeks in a row?
Enjoy? Or will we once again spend 2 weeks explaining away and hoping? And...
I don't see a path in which, without any like crazy plays, if it's just a straight up, just a good football game, both people make plays, no one does anything stupid, I don't see a path where USC wins, unless we make boneheaded plays.
Yeah.
Unless,
bad snaps.
The defense is obviously
I need to stop talking that. That's bad juju.
A huge point of emphasis, and it should be because we were so bad last year. But I think that the mentality, if anything else, even if the schematics were the exact same, which I know they're not, I know they're better. Even if the X's and O's were the exact same, I think that our defense will play with more passion, more heart, more.
Yeah.
That was the more disappointing part last year. Is like the acceptance of getting blocked.
Yeah, and they so clearly hated the staff.
Yeah, so even if you just fix that part, like how they mentally attack the game and mentally attack their opponent, like then it fixes it. But we do know that the X's and O's are better this year. Because they can't get worse.
Did you hear the Will Campbell sound that we played earlier?
No.
Okay, give me Will Campbell describing the offense in one word, Alondra. That should be Campbell 10.
I'll say explosive. There's a lot of explosive playmakers, not only on the outside, but the inside in our running back room. And, like I said, we're going to run the ball. So, that's not something we're hiding or, trying to keep quiet. I'm telling everybody right now we are going to run the football. So you can take what you want with that. And, Caleb, Josh, Caden, all these guys, they're all big, powerful, fast guys. And, I'm just excited for them.
Let's go.
Ooh, what does that do for you, man? I'm not hiding it. We are telling everyone now we are going to run the football.
Sounds like something somebody would say that from a team that's going to throw it a lot.
Do you think you were a member of that 03 Natty team now, right? Yeah. Will you take any joy if LSU beats USC?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. It's time to bring back all your old FUSC gear that you've all had in the closet for all this time.
How long have we waited to play them?
Yeah.
So
we only played them twice in school history.
I just remember, of course, I was like the third string fake signaler on that team, but I was on the team, buddy.
That's right, baby.
All right.
Stallions would have made you.
I had some scout team tutters. I was getting them ready. I played a lot of Jason White in practice leading up to that game. All right.
Bet you didn't have them Jinkos like Jason had.
To be able to have to sit on that in the White House staircase and look at USC standing on the other staircase.
Oh, so they got to go at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
They even got to go to the White House.
Yeah, they even got more jokes directed towards them because President Bush was talking about Reggie Bush.
Oh, wow.
Yep. And he did say at the time, he said, well, he's like, who knows? Y'all haven't played. Y'all are both national champions. I don't know who's better, but I got a pretty big backyard.
That's a good joke. Go to Camp David, have the football national championship deciding rubber match at Camp David.
Oh, my gosh.
Let's go.
Yeah, it's crazy. I think that was the only year in BCS history where you had the split championship, right?
Yeah.
I mean, all the conferences agreed to the BCS. Everybody else did. But for whatever reason, the media just felt that beating a 2-loss Michigan team, I think it was worthy of a championship versus beating what was an undefeated Oklahoma team.
Yep. They were just the media darlings.
Yeah.
But it was AP. It was
Imagine that.
AP.
West Coast bias.
Always said it.
I'm excited. I'm excited to see the bus take off. All right, the bus is finally departing the station. We are on it. He's going to crush it.
Everybody on the bus? Good, great, grand.
Unfortunately, I only got one. If you're thinking about making some bets.
Only yelling on the bus. Only yelling. What's the bet?
I will say that there is probably no distinct advantage in the hydration game.
A2, Matthew.
Really?
I thought Cody Worsham was enough. But you two have laid yourself prostrate before those West Coast hippies.
Laid myself prostrate?
Yes, and allowed them to spread and violate you in exchange for money, in exchange for 30 pieces of silver, Judas Flynn. I hope you hang yourself from an olive tree. I'm just kidding.
Wow.
I don't know if it was an olive tree. Didn't you just hang himself? I'm pretty sure he did.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I would too. If I betrayed the Son of God. That's kind of a heavy one to have to make peace with.
No coming back from that.
No coming back from that.
No.
We'll allow you room to come back from hydrating USC. I wish you could have held off a game or a year or two.
Maybe lost the shipment.
Yeah, maybe lost a shipment or two. Just allow Jake to get more free My High. You could have sent it to his house. He has 5 kids.
Yeah.
Sorry, wrong address.
Yeah, exactly.
My bad.
Accidentally sent it to a local residential Baton Rouge place instead of your football facility. My bad, guys.
Yeah.
We're gonna win. We're gonna win by double digits.
Hell yeah! Okay. That's what we're talking
about. It's gonna be a close game. It's gonna be a close game.
Wait, what? Which one?
This one.
I'm confused. You said we're gonna win by double digits.
Yeah.
Okay.
LSU.
Yeah.
But you said it's going to be a close game.
It's going to be a
close game.
Okay.
But then in the fourth quarter,
Okay.
something's going to happen.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
And we're going to crush.
Hey, drinkmyhigh.com. Drinkmyhigh.com. Stay hydrated, guys. Matt,
5
thank you so much.
5 tutters this week.
5. Hour 3 OTB.
Off the bench.
Go to K2Z Window Coverings, KTOZBlinds.com. That's KTOZBlinds.com. You go to K2Z Window Coverings today, and you get those window coverings that, wow. The thing is, you probably don't even know just how impactful all your options can be, okay? That's where Brandon and the team comes in. They've been in this job for a long time, meaning they come out to your home, they tour your home, they see exactly how the sunlight interacts with your home, and then they put options on the table in front of you, and it's aesthetic, it's functional, it saves money. It brings your home to the next level. Go to K2Z Window Coverage, KTOZBlinds.com.
Yeah, when you go to the website, you'll see exactly what we're talking about, and they're going to be able to help you and know your space like in 5 minutes when they come to your home, interior, exterior, and sometimes you get an exterior shade like I did, and it helps the interior of your home as well, and you didn't even know it was going to happen, but K2Z did. Go to the website today, KTOZBlinds.com.
Back to school savings at Bayou Ford. $12,000 off F-150. $12,000 off a new 2024 Ford F-150. And $10,000 off Expedition. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a complimentary extended warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
It's an everyday thing here. We work horses in the mornings and we work on the property during the day, and without these John Deere tractors, it'd almost be impossible to keep up with the place. I've dealt with some of the other colors and stuff, and I never really got the response back that I get from John Deere, We really enjoy dealing with Sunshine. They're good people. They always check on us and make sure our equipment's running, and we love them. Flip the switch and learn more about what it means to be powered by Sunshine at sunequip.com.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, party plank, and vinyl siding. But our #1 product is always customer satisfaction. Visit us online at reliefwindows.com.
Good morning. It's 9 a.m. here on Wednesday, August 28th. Today in Baton Rouge, you can expect rainy skies with a high of 94 in hour 3 of today's show. We'll talk New Orleans Saints final 53-man roster, and we'll continue our discussion with college football. If you missed hours 1 or 2 of the show, you can catch it in the on-demand section at 1045ESPN.com. You can also follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN, and watch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel. Hour number 3 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios, starts now.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert. Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah, they said I gotta come off the bench.
Now, here's Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
What's happening, y'all? Welcome back to Hour 3 of OTB. Thought I was crazy for my Derek Carr bets. I just found this account from this is a Florida State Seminole fan on Twitter at 321. I just saw this 30 seconds ago. If Florida State loses to Boston College this weekend, I will eat dog excrement out of a red Solo cup with a spoon and post a video of me doing it. Book it. The tweet now has 1 million views and 2,500 bookmarks. Oh, my God, dude. And he tweets at Coach Norvell, I got faith in you, my man. Don't put me through this.
I was surprised that line's big. It's over. It's like 17.5. Boston College has a lot of the same schematics offensively that Georgia Tech has. They've got a true dual threat quarterback as well, like someone. Let's see how many yards he ran for last year. 1,200, their quarterback last year.
Sheesh.
He gained 1,200 yards. I don't take away sack yardage. I think that's dumb in college football. So he gained 1,289 yards on the ground, net of 1,113. and he also threw for 2,200 yards. Now, 15-14 touchdown interception. They got to fix that, but they beat SMU in a bowl game. Bill O'Brien's now the head coach there. 17.5 points. I don't know. BC. Keep it interesting.
So Phil Steele has pre-sack rush numbers?
No. Oh, well, yes, he has yards gained in the net.
Oh, okay. Can we get a Garrett Green pre-sack rush number check, please?
Yes. Let's see. West Virginia is the Big 12.
While you're looking that up, did anybody else watch the Connor Stallions documentary?
No.
So immediately after yesterday, I knew it was going to be boring, and so it would not be. And you could say that maybe I approached it with bias potentially. I expected it was going to be boring, so I just had it on the background while prepping for snaps yesterday. And I got to say this, my God, what a waste of time. A couple of interesting things, but that thing could have been 10 minutes.
Yeah, I don't care.
Exactly, right? Well, that's the other thing. And now people are being like, Coach Harbaugh gave him a game ball, and a player recognized him. He definitely knew. It's like, well, duh, guys. Did anybody legitimately think that Jim Harbaugh did not know? The thing that I thought was most interesting, though, is how advanced the system Stallions made to steal signs was. Not like the going in person and filming or whatever. I don't care about any of that, but he created this database of thousands of pictures and signs that he had made. He put it all in these spreadsheets, and he basically created a cheat sheet sort of system that it was fully bespoke, made by him, that would allow him to decipher signs quickly. I thought that was kind of interesting. He didn't go show us the full manifesto, but he did show these very intense recruiting databases that he built about where players come from and where the most successful, blah, blah, blah. So the interesting things to me about it were actually just how effective Connor Stallions was in what he was doing through all the stuff that is legal. Like the things that I'm talking about right there, that's all legal stuff. That's not any of the stuff that would have got him in trouble. Where the trouble is was he on the Central Michigan sideline? Was he paying for people to go and film the game for him? And maybe the only other interesting nugget is with the Central Michigan sideline, he got to be boys with Dave Portnoy through all this.
Yeah.
And Portnoy straight up says in the documentary, no, I know that was him on the sideline. He told me it was him. And then Stallions, they show him, they give him a picture. And they're like, is this you? And he's like, this doesn't even look like me. And then with his lawyer, when the NCAA is questioning him, he says he does not recall if he ever snuck onto the Central Michigan sidelines. I'm imagining Central Michigan's probably got some sort of proof. They were alluding to the fact that they can't release anything, but they look forward to when they can. But I just don't care. I don't think it's the reason why Michigan won the championship. So ultimately, I'm at peace with it. But yeah, Netflix really needs to learn that you can't create intrigue or suspense just by using intriguing and suspenseful music. They would be saying the most boring stuff, but just playing classic conspiracy music behind it, expect you to be like, oh my God. And no. I'd take Connor Stallions on my squad, though. I will say that. The dude is a true believer in the truest sense. I mean, he is Michigan
foxhole.
The true, the ultimate foxhole, which speaks to his military background, certainly, as does the level of obsessive compulsive data collection that he engaged in, and work ethic and drive. So I would not recommend it. I don't think it's worth your time, me personally. I think I told you everything that you maybe needed to know about it.
It just I'm like you, it does nothing for me anyways. After everybody found out, they still went out there and won a national championship. Sign stealing goes on in every sport. And what level you do it to, sure, I'm going to judge you a little bit there, but ultimately you still went out there and won the Natty. I don't know. It just doesn't move the needle for me.
Well, and it's impossible to discern, Jake, what what sign stealing advantages did they gain through the legal means, which is TV copy, sideline copy? Like, there's a ton of footage out there. And then what was gained, illegally because you had someone in the stands or you were on the Central Michigan sidelines. Like, it just doesn't matter. Half Spanish Armada says they made key plays in key moments using knowledge only gained through cheating. No, I disagree. You can't prove that because how do you know they didn't gain that key knowledge through what are accepted means of sign decoding? How do you know that they didn't know that key play there because they got it from watching the TV copy?
Or when Mike Leach dropped a play sheet on purpose one time with fake plays to make the other team think that was their game plan.
Genius.
And it worked.
Is that when he was at Oklahoma?
I can't remember. Where was he? It might have been at Texas Tech. I don't remember, but he did it.
Yeah, just absolutely genius.
And look, in some people,
the Pirate.
I tell the story all the time. Like, we were playing against the Ravens, and Peyton gets up in front of the team, and he's like, hey, back in 2003, we played the Ravens on Sunday Night Football, and this code word was heard over the TV copy. I remember that vividly. So it's 2012, okay? So we're 9 years later, a decade almost. Let's change that code word because on the TV copy back in 2003, when I was with the Colts, we used this.
There you go. I mean, so, again, I don't think that you can prove that, Armada, and I don't think the documentary is worth your time. All right, give me them Garrett Green numbers, dog.
All right. So, in net, because, again, I don't know why we do this in college, net was 772, but he gained 822.
Oh, let's go, dude.
So 822 yards on the ground for Garrett Green. That's a monster year.
We just got to get, all Garrett Green needs to do is get the completion percentage up. Like I said, he's great in big-time throw rate, good yards per attempt, great touchdown-to-pick ratio, great rushing touchdown number. If we get that completion percentage up to 60, we're talking about one of the best, most exciting quarterbacks in the entire
Now, it's
country.
got a ways to go. It was 53 last year.
I know.
That is look, no.
Relax.
He was QB2 on the all-meathead team. I mean, if it wasn't for Cam Rising and his beautiful mullet and him not knowing how to slide, he would have been QB1. I love
Garrett Green doesn't slide.
No, he doesn't. But still, I got to give respect to the elders.
That's true.
Yeah, and the haircut and the facial hair of Cam Rising.
It's just greasy as hell. Better makeover, Cam Rising or Mike McDaniel? These pictures were making the rounds the other day.
I think Cam Rising.
I think I like Mike McDaniels a bit more because he looks so stereotypical. He
Miami,
looks like a stereotypical Miami drug lord, and it only took 2 years. Whereas Cam Rising's had a little more time to develop into that beautiful visage of Greece that he appears to be. But both are great.
They're both great.
Both are great.
Did we ever? Honestly, I can't remember, and you and I both have to deal with this. I can't remember which show we did this on. Did you ever kind of make predictions on who you thought would win the SEC? On this show, did we do that? I can't remember.
You did every conference. You did, and then we did like Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year.
I know we did it for the ACC, and I thought we did it maybe for the.
We did Big 12 and Big 10 for sure.
Yeah, and we did ACC. Maybe we didn't do SEC actually. I mean, we could do that when we get back.
Funny enough, I think we stopped. I think we stopped before we got to because we had something come up that day.
Yeah,
it was going to be on that Thursday. I was just curious. I was curious if you were going to go with Georgia or if you had another team that you felt like was going to win the conference.
Well, look, okay, we still got a ton to get to this hour. We can do our SEC predicts. We can do.
I want to get to maybe your.
We got to do ours. We got to talk Saints 53-man roster.
Yeah,
that's finalized today. We could get into Week 1 previews, but we can also push that back to tomorrow, like all the big games because a lot of big games.
I keep thinking today is Thursday.
No. We have Thursday, and then Friday will just be a blackout energy rage fest. Oh my God, it's time for battle. Let's freaking go.
Right. Classic.
Yeah, classic. All right, keep it locked right here. Let's talk Saints 53-man roster next, and then we'll come back and do some SEC predicts after that. Keep it locked, OTB.
Off the bench.
Go to Community Steel Company, communitysteelco.com, communitysteelco.com. If you need steel, get it from the local guys over there in Gonzales, Louisiana, who give it to you at the best prices, who manufacture it all themselves. who have a live and local human sales team where you're not just a number on a spreadsheet. It's actual people that you form relationships with. And you can touch the product before you buy it if you want. Just go see me in Gonzales. You need purlin, tubing, steel buildings, trim, sheet metal, roof. It's all there for you at Community Steel Company, communitysteelco.com.
Yep, go to the website today. Look in the top right corner. It's going to tell you exactly where they're located in Gonzales, Louisiana. I mean, look, they've been open for over 2 hours. It's almost lunchtime for them, and they are there for you. They get there early for you, so you can come see them and see the product for yourself. But for some reason, you can't get to Gonzales, Louisiana, and you're in the state of Louisiana, pick up the phone, give them a call, tell them what you're looking for at 225-647-2020.
There's nothing chill about a hot, sweaty line. Unless you add Mountain Cold Refreshment. Coors Light. Choose chill.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared toward seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial properties. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile.
Welcome back to Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
All right, welcome back into OTB here on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Yesterday was my least favorite day, I think, on the calendar. It is NFL cut day, and over 900 players had to be told that, hey, you are not going to be here. Now, that doesn't mean that all 900 are not going to play in the NFL this year. There's going to be actually a pretty decent amount that find their way to a new team. Maybe they find their way to the practice squad and they can still live out that dream. I mean, there's multiple stories of guys that have been released and they go on. Hell, Peyton Manning got released one time, okay? Everybody almost that is anybody in the NFL has been released at least once in their career. But it was cut down day, and there was no like, hey, let's go from 90 to 70 to 53. It's like we're going straight from 90 plus to 53. So we see a lot of players that got released yesterday. Before we dive into the New Orleans Saints, Taylor, this feels like something that you probably eye hustled more than anybody here in this room. Give me maybe the biggest surprise NFL cut day around the league.
You know, we were talking about it earlier. It's probably Blake Ferguson at a long snapper. First off,
certainly for LSU. Well, I don't know, 2 LSU surprises. Terrace Marshall as well.
Terrace Marshall was a surprise. I think they would probably just do it. That's probably in his benefit.
I would think.
I mean, he's never been able for whatever reason
to Carolina.
Yeah, to stay healthy. Their quarterback situation's awful. Their whole team's awful. But no, I mean, unless you're just like really bad, you're typically okay roster spot if you're a long snapper. So the fact that they let Blake Ferguson go, who by all accounts has been a really good long snapper, that was surprising.
Terrace Marshall, second-round pick. You're right. I mean, some ups, some downs, but he had a really good camp. And I was surprised that they released him, but probably, like you said, going to be the best thing for him. And we'll give you like a full list of some of the LSU players that did make the team. I know like Jaquelin Roy, unfortunately, he got released from the Vikings, and there's a lot of LSU players out there that, you know, got released yesterday. We'll give you that full list, but let's go ahead and dive into the New Orleans Saints. Biggest surprise for me was Jonathan Abram did not make this team, because if you'll remember, yesterday we had Nick Underhill, New Orleans Football, and I was like, hey, what's going on with Jordan Howden? Like, I just don't understand. No starters in the game, but he's out there playing 30-plus plays in the preseason, the finale there against the Titans, when no other starter. So I was like, well, maybe Jonathan Abram's going to find his way into that role. He was kind of valuable a year ago. He gets released, and so it's going to be Howden. I believe Will Harris also, he made the team. It was kind of a trio fighting for that starting spot. That one was a surprise to me, and it shows you what they really think about Mason Tipton, the fact that he has missed the last 3 weeks because of injury, and he still makes the team. It shows you maybe what they think of him, Taylor, and also kind of where they're at in that receiver room.
Well, they said he was going to play special teams, and that's what you need. I mean, Equinemius St. Brown, I know that's T-Bob's favorite name on the whole team. He's never been a special teams guy really at any point in his career, and are you going to keep a 5th, 6th wide receiver that's not going to help you out in other areas? Mason Tipton was a guy that was helping out, and that's why he made the squad.
Yeah, so St. Brown does get released. Nakua gets released. Stanley Morgan gets released at the receiver position. So Mason Tipton is on the squad for now. Remember, certainly now, but, you know, before you had about a 10-day period before you played the first game. Now you have much longer, and every team is going to be going through the waiver wire trying to find whatever their, you know, deficiency is. Like, where do we need to add to this team? So for the Saints, like, I think receiver is fully going to be a position where they scour the waiver wire. Maybe a Terrace Marshall could find himself in New Orleans. And look, if you look at what we were talking about yesterday with guys like Tim Patrick, okay, what did he bring that Mechie didn't from the Texans? He was different, right? He's 6'4", 220 pounds. Like, Terrace Marshall is a big body, so he would give you that different type of receiver that you're looking at. A couple of other cuts of names from the New Orleans Saints. We mentioned Lou Hedley yesterday. That was kind of an early one that we got at the punter position. James Robinson, veteran running back, who he had a flash. He had a season certainly early in his career with the Jags where it looked like he was going to be a mainstay with that team. He's kind of bounced around, went to the Giants, finds himself in New Orleans. He doesn't make the team, but really outside of that, there's no real surprises for the New Orleans Saints. I think, again, you look at Jonathan Abram, him not making the team is my biggest surprise. Tipton making the team after being out for 3 weeks, probably my second biggest surprise. Lou Hedley has not been great. I don't really find that as a surprise, but I would fully expect New Orleans to be on the waiver wire. I'm sure it's already started. Taylor, if I said the Saints are going to add this position, how many? Because I would go receiver, I would go safety, and I would go a veteran journeyman offensive lineman that can be a swing tackler guard would probably be the three things I think absolutely you'll see the Saints add.
Yeah, and it's funny. I would have said, easily safety and O-line are the top two. Receiver might be at the top of that list. Again, you mentioned it, O-line, but are there any game-changing O-linemen out there? There's some solid receivers that are out there that are up for grabs. Now, we mentioned Tim Patrick. He's been picked up by the Lions, but Terrace Marshall's out there. John Mechie's obviously a trade candidate. I mean, there's solid pieces, and I think you really need help at that wide receiver 3 spot.
I wonder right now what the conversations are about bringing in a veteran offensive lineman, because, again, like this late in it, you're not going to find somebody that's going to go out there. He's not going to be the day one starter. It's not going to be somebody that you're like, hey, everything's fixed. Our bad offensive line because we got this guy. No, there's a reason why they got released. Either they haven't stayed healthy or their performance has not been great. But if you're the New Orleans Saints, like you have to have some insurance. Like you have to go out there and find someone that if you decide to roll the dice and go with Trevor Penning and it goes the way that it's gone throughout his early career, you got to have somebody you can at least say, hey, you know what? The ceiling's not that high, but my God, the basement's not that low. Okay? Because the basement with Trevor Penning, it's like in Oklahoma, Iowa, Nebraska, like Tornado Alley type basement. It's so far down there, okay? You have to get a little bit of protection. You keep Lucas Patrick. He looks like he's going to be the starting left guard. But, again, I would go get a swing guy because outside of Eric McCoy, you don't have anything else that you can kind of lean on to say, yeah, I feel really good about this. I feel like we can move into this 2024 season and be ready to go. So that would be a position that I think they're going to add. If you're thinking about the other receivers, by the way, if we go back to that position, A.T. Perry, of course, Chris Olave, Rashid Shaheed, Bub Means, and I got to give Taylor his credit, Cedric Wilson, somebody that you know him. He's a former Cowboy. You said when they signed him, and remember they had like a flurry of like kind of veteran 4 or 5 year receivers that they signed like kind of all in back-to-back days, and you said Cedric Wilson is going to be the best of the bunch. He's the only one that makes a team.
He's a good player. I mean, I saw him at a number of years in Dallas. I didn't like when they let him walk out of the door. He was a productive player at times with Miami. I mean, he's a veteran guy who's still on the younger side, who's been productive at multiple spots. That's more than you can say for Perry, Means, Mason Tipton, whoever else they have in that rotation. I thought it was an obvious choice. And, that's kind of been the first name mentioned when everybody said, oh, well, who's going to be wide receiver 3 behind Olave and Shaheed? Wilson's always kind of been the first name mentioned. I'm not surprised.
If we go down to the running backs that were retained on this roster, you had Alvin Kamara, surprise, surprise, Jamal Williams, and Jordan Mims. Now, Kendre Miller is somebody that we've talked a lot about. He actually is going to be on the IR to start the season. So, like we talked about yesterday, that's really not a surprise. That way you don't have to release him. They're not happy with him. We have played the Dennis Allen sound. They are not happy with Kendre Miller. They want more from him. All injuries are not the same injury. You got some that you just can't help, and some that the players trying like hell to get back. And he's in the training room every single day. He's doing everything that he's supposed to be doing to get back on the field, and you won't ever hear a coach throw a player under the bus. Kendre Miller's got tire tracks on from what Dennis Allen has said about him, like in the narrative and the tone of his voice. So, look, we're not there every day. I don't know if he's doing the right things, and Dennis Allen just for whatever reason wants to get in front of a microphone and do it that way. But it sounds like a player that he is frustrated with. He's like, hey, yeah, you're injured, but you're not hurt. Like, you should be out there. Like, you should at least give the effort to get out on the field because maybe you're not 100%, but we need you out there. That's what it feels like just kind of listening to the sound from Dennis Allen. They decide not to release him. He is on the IR, so there is a point in the season when he can come back. But I look at the running back position. You have AK, but he's not happy with his contract. He's missed time. You have Jamal Williams, who I love Jamal Williams, but Jamal Williams is a downhill runner. That's what he is. That's his skill set. So not a lot of versatility there. And then you've got a Jordan Mims who hasn't really played, right? He's a guy that was a good college football player, but we haven't seen him in the NFL. So not happy with his contract, injured, kind of a, I don't want to say one-dimensional because I think that's disrespectful to Jamal Williams, but he is what he is, like, and he knows thyself. And then a guy that's unproven. and so you decide to keep Miller, put him on the IR. Taylor, am I crazy to think that running back could be a position that they would add, certainly with the uncertainty of your best running back?
No, because, I mean, yes, they technically have 5 on the roster. One's a fullback, one's Taysom Hill. So like you mentioned, it's Kamara, it's Mims, it's Jamal Williams. And how healthy is Kamara going to be? I mean, he's been banged up a lot these last couple of years. And look, I got free agency pulled up right now. Jake, there are a lot of cheap options out there. I mean, last year, Damian Harris made $1.7 million. He's 27 years old. Matt Breida is out there. Kareem Hunt is out there. All 3 of those guys I just mentioned are under the age of 30. I mean, there's solid options out there that you could go sign. That is something I would keep an eye on. Eno Benjamin's out there, who's been in this building before. He's been a solid, second, third down back for a number of years out there in Arizona. There's some options out there.
Man, did you say Damian Harris?
Damian Harris.
Man, that's just another reminder. It is so hard to make it in the NFL.
And he's only 27 years old.
I mean, he was such a good college football player. He even had some moments in the NFL. It's already hard enough to make it and to get vested in the NFL. I'll always remind people this. Trent Richardson, who was the number 3 overall pick and also got traded for a first-round pick, fell a game short of being vested into the NFL benefits plan, right? That's how hard it is to make it in the NFL in general, but certainly at that position. And there's some names out there, right? And I think if you look at your situation now, you've got other issues. Receiver, offensive line, which we've talked about, but I don't think you can just assume at the running back position. AK's health and him being mad about where he sits with his contract is something to pay attention to. Again, we got more time before game 1, and I would fully expect the Saints to take a look, and not a young running back, a veteran running back, to add to that group, because you did not get from Kendre Miller what you thought you were going to get. All right, that is the Saints roster. I'm sure we'll continue breaking down some of this when T-Bob jumps back in as well. It is OTB. We'll be back right here on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Off the bench.
All right, go to All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com, All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com. And if you are buying new, if you are leasing, or if you are renting a vehicle, well, the best part about it is everything's available in all 3 of those processes over at All-Star, and you're just not going to find that anywhere else. Now, buying new, yeah, certainly, right? There's a reason why you've got new vehicles on the lot and you show off everything that you have. You're going to get that in most places, and All-Star's got more options than most. Leasing, not everybody's going to offer everything. They do over at All-Star. Rental, I can guarantee you the rental departments aren't going to have everything available like you're going to have at All-Star. So if you've got a weekend trip planned to go see the Tigers in Fayetteville or Gainesville or College Station, maybe you want to go up to Columbia, maybe you've never seen South Carolina, you can rent a Toyota, everything, something bigger, better on gas, small, whatever it is. They've got you covered. Call Miss Lisa Sessions today in the rental department, All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales service and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
It's an everyday thing here. We work horses in the mornings and we work on the property during the day, and without these John Deere tractors, it'd almost be impossible to keep up with the place. I've dealt with some of the other colors and stuff, and I never really got the response back that I get from John Deere, We really enjoy dealing with Sunshine. They're good people. They always check on us and make sure our equipment's running, and we love them. Flip the switch and learn more about what it means to be powered by Sunshine at sunequip.com.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985.
Welcome back to Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Yo, what's going on, y'all? Sorry about that. Back. Look at this, guys. Just came in the mail. Shout out Home Field, which you already know about Home Field, but Home Field, sponsors of Whiskey and Wine. Second year in a row. All the gear you see me wearing on Whiskey and Wine this year will be from Home Field. This is the new LSU Home Field box right here. And let's see what we got in here, dude. I have not seen this. Football is back. Look at that. You got a little college football. College football postseason expanded, opening the doors to the unknown. There's monumental, unprecedented season ahead with no roadmap except a blank bracket. Ditch advanced stats and odds and blue chip ratio. It doesn't actually say that, but it should, Jake.
It should.
We're traversing the football frontier without a compass, blah, blah, blah. I agree. Okay. We got a little old school logo LSU hat in here. What are these, some socks? Okay. Hell yes. Love some good socks right there. Ooh. Can't miss kickoff koozie. Is this the Home Field mascot here? Little Bally. I like that guy. And, oh, man, we got some shirts that seem pretty cool. If you ask me, let's see, which one is this one right here? Oh, yeah, dude, look, that's the same tiger. It's Mike sitting outside of USC's cage back in 79. Look, bottom line, shout out Home Field. Okay, here we got a sweatshirt in here. Shout out Home Field for sponsoring Whiskey and Wine. What does this say? SEC champions 1970. I don't know much about the 1970 SEC championship team. It's kind of a nice little flex there by Home Field. So, again, like I said, be on the lookout for it all year long. We'll have, during Whiskey and Wine, we'll have promo codes that if you use, I want to say save you 10 to 20%. I'll have to brush up on my copy points, but shout out Home Field for sending the stuff. Very cool. Excited to try it on in Vegas this weekend.
So you're telling me you don't know about number 8 LSU crushing number 16 Ole Miss 61-17 in Baton Rouge for the SEC championship?
What?
Earning them a berth in the Orange Bowl against Nebraska?
Against Nebraska? Against Mac Markway's Nebraska? No, I now need to. I feel like I knew at least a little bit about all the SEC championship teams. I feel like I need to study up a little bit. Shout out to Mac Markway, by the way, who commits to Nebraska, joining my friends up there in the Corn Hub. I think now it's become clear that he was kind of getting passed up by Kamorian Pimpton and Trey'Dez Green. Maybe that's still not the whole story. He might have something different to say on that. I don't know, but I always really liked Mac. I thought, he played well last year, and I hope that he finds all the success in the world. By the way, guys, remember, if you need AC, heating, or electrical needs, head over to Accutemp Baton Rouge, accutempbr.com, accutempbr.com. You go to Accutemp, and look, man, you get service to the highest degree, okay? And that's not just lip service. They don't just talk the talk, they walk it. It's why, with thousands of Google review ratings, they still have a 4.9. It's why every interaction I've ever had with them, I've just been blown away by the links to which they go to make sure that their customers are satisfied. Like, that service to the highest degree is a guiding light. It is their mission statement, their core ethos, if you will. So, if you need any AC, heat, or electrical needs, go to Acton, man. Don't think twice about it, and you can thank me later. Also, if you want a whole home generator, kind of protect your house, everything you got going on inside of it, they give you a free professional estimate, letting you know exactly how it would work. Again, that's Accutemp of Baton Rouge, accutempbr.com. Do we want to do what else? Okay, so we talked Saints when I was out. We said we want to talk SEC. I feel like am I missing another story?
Real quick, anything for the Saints roster cuts that maybe were a surprise for you, like anything that kind of stood out? Because we talked about it with Nick yesterday, and the biggest surprise for me was Jonathan Abram, because Jordan Howden had been playing the entire preseason, even when there was no other starters. Now, Abram played as well in the finale against the Titans, but you release Jonathan Abram, former first-round pick from the Raiders, who played pretty well in a reserve role a year ago for you. You keep Jordan Howden, you keep Will Harris, and I felt like the Saints were playing Howden, like wanting him to show them something, even though I thought he had already done that. And I guess I'm just surprised that they cut a piece that was valuable last year when you're not really settled at that position.
I'm just gonna, because it's been that kind of morning, and I don't care. I'm just gonna be completely honest. I haven't even looked at the final 53-man roster. So no, I have no idea any surprises. And I also find that in these conversations, if we want to be again completely honest, you're not gonna care who the 53rd person is, really. You know, like if you're listening to this right now, you probably won't think about Jonathan Abram again. Kendre Miller is interesting, kind of, because he's a big draft pick at an exciting position. But if he doesn't come off IR, like, I don't know that you'll think about him too much again. The bigger questions are just who's going to be on that starting line and how the hell are they going to perform. Who made out of the receiver room? I am kind of interested in that, actually.
All right, so Mason Tipton, that was another thing that we were mentioning. So Tipton makes the final roster, even though he had practice in 3 weeks. You know, so that kind of tells you, it tells you a couple of
consistent plays when he was in.
It tells you who he is. It tells you where they're at in that room as well. So you got A.T. Perry, Chris Olave, Rashid Shaheed, Mason Tipton, and Cedric Wilson, and Bub Means. So you keep 6 receivers. St. Brown, your boy, didn't make it.
Which is not actually equiminious. It's equanimous.
Yeah, and before. He can go back and enjoy the California food, which is way better than New Orleans. So he'll be fine.
He was cooked from day one.
Yeah, as soon as he said that, I was like, oh, boy.
Also, that is a mid-ass wide receiver room, if I've ever seen it.
That's why we were talking. So Tim
that
Patrick,
ain't even a Chipotle Bowl wide receiver room there.
I kind of like Chipotle. So
No, I do as well, but I'm saying Derek Carr got all that crap for going to Chipotle first restaurant in New Orleans.
Yeah. I was like, wait a minute.
Like, it doesn't
it's not my favorite, but
attain, that's an unspiced chicken breast of a wide receiver room.
So Tim Patrick gets picked up by the Lions. So that was the name we talked about yesterday. But Terrace Marshall got released.
Saw that.
So if you're looking for a different body type, like we talked about with Nick Underhill yesterday, that one wouldn't make a lot of sense. And all reports were that he was having an incredible camp.
Really?
That was a surprise. Now, the first couple years of his career, injury-plagued, disappointing to a second-round status, but he was having a really good training camp, and I was reading Panthers beat writers were surprised that they didn't give him one more year.
Okay, so maybe it seems like a guy that the Saints should pursue, at least kick the tires on. Have there been any tackle names that have popped up?
That's what we were trying to scour for, because it's going to be a swing guy. You're going to look at a guard tackle kind of combo guy, a veteran guy who's got a handful of starts, somebody that, again, the ceiling's not high, but also your basement is not that low, kind of just a mid player. But he gives you like stability, That's probably what they're searching for right now.
I would agree. Mid is better than what you have. It's time for Tay-Tay's NFL Story of the Day.
It's time for Tay-Tay's NFL Story of the Day. Your daily dose of NFL news from Taylor Sharp.
Greg Lamont says Terrace Marshall to the Bengals. I don't know if that's official, but that would be...
They
that would make sense, obviously, bringing him back with Burrow, the guy that he had so much success with.
Well, I mean, remember Joe Brady was at Carolina as their OC when they drafted him, so like that made sense. He's no longer there, so.
Tay-Tay.
Let's stick with wide receivers and former LSU wide receivers. We all know that maybe the best receiving duo in the league, Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, are out there in Miami. Well, they added Odell Beckham Jr. in the offseason.
Uh-oh.
He made the team, but he's on the physically unable to perform list. He will miss at least the first 4 games.
Why?
It's a guy that's just battled injuries. It literally says because of an undisclosed injury. I mean, he's a guy that has battled a number of injuries the last few years, trying to make it. I mean, when he's been on the field for the most part, he's still been pretty productive the last few years. He just hadn't played in a ton of games, but he will not be back till at least week 5.
You can never take the Super Bowl away from Odell. You know, he won a Super Bowl, and he was a great and key part of winning that Super Bowl. And that is kind of a trump card against anybody who would maybe want to seek to tear him down. That sucks that he's injured, but if he does get healthy at the right time, that's a offense that becomes even more potent.
Just looking at his injury history here, though. 2017, he fractured his left ankle. He tore his ACL in 2020. Tore his ACL again in 2021. Remember at the end of the Super Bowl season with the Rams.
After he was kicking ass that game.
Yeah, he had a touchdown 6 straight games leading up to the Super Bowl or something like that.
He had one in the Super Bowl, did he not?
Yeah,
I believe he did,
He had it. It was the first one of the game.
Yes.
He did not have a team in 2022. Last year signed a $15 million deal with the Ravens. Was in and out of the lineup there. Had 565 yards.
This man went from no team in 22 to a $15 million deal.
1 year, $15 million for the Ravens.
Dell, let's go, dude.
In and out of the lineup with injuries. 565 yards last season.
What's Juice doing?
I thought I saw that he was still trying to.
I saw him still training.
Yeah, because EJ actually, so they both live in Miami. EJ was throwing to him to try to help him get back in the league.
Oh, wow.
Just had a workout with the Jets.
Okay.
A few days ago.
Okay. Here's hoping that Jarvis can, have something left in the tank as well.
So for Terrace Marshall, if we're looking at what he's been in Carolina, he only played 9 games last year, only 19 catches for 139 yards. But in 2022, in which he played in 14 games, he had 28 catches, 490 yards, 17.5 per catch. So it wasn't all bad in Carolina, but when you're a second-round pick, they're going to expect more, and here's to hoping he finds a much better situation than the dumpster fire that is the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's not a bad thing to get out of Carolina.
No.
You could definitely see that as a situation where Terrace Marshall's not exactly being helped out too much in reaching his full potential. All right, when we get back, let's wrap up the show with some Ask the Bench.
Off the bench.
Hey, y'all, fellas, listen up, man. You just got engaged. Congratulations are in order. Now, I got a plan for you. Go to oakparkevents.com, okay? P-A-R-C. That's how we're spelling park. oakparkevents.com. And you're going to see 2 unique venues that can handle all of your wedding needs. You have Oak Lodge. You have Park 73. Oak Lodge, think Browns, beautiful interior, brass and mahogany, classic New Orleans style bar. Just a stunning interior. You go to Park 73, a little more outdoors, a little more green, under the sun. But the bottom line is here at Oak Park, we have done literally thousands of weddings, okay? Turnkey. And you customize it however you want it. So what you do, you tell your wife, hey, baby, or your fiance, hey, baby, you know what? So happy we're engaged. Check this out. I lined us up a couple of meetings. You get brownie points. You're engaged, and you put up a couple of great venues on the table. Go to oakparkevents.com.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
It's an everyday thing here. We work horses in the mornings and we work on the property during the day, and without these John Deere tractors, it'd almost be impossible to keep up with the place. I've dealt with some of the other colors and stuff, and I never really got the response back that I get from John Deere, We really enjoy dealing with Sunshine. They're good people. They always check on us and make sure our equipment's running, and we love them. Flip the switch and learn more about what it means to be powered by Sunshine at sunequip.com.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
BRAC teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. BRAC, your #1 park system in the nation.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Welcome back to Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. It's time for some Ask the Bench. Brought to you by Cole Kurz Live, Vizzy Art Tilter, and Blue Moon Light Sky Such Sweet. Ask the Bench. Besides the game, what do y'all look forward to the most to do in Vegas? I'm looking forward. I don't know where I'm going to be watching quite yet, but I am looking forward to watching football all Saturday.
I hope that we can find a spot together to watch some football, react to some of the biggest games. I don't know who else is going to be out in Vegas, but I'm sure that we'll find some people we know to just watch football all day long. That's all I care about, because LSU doesn't play until Sunday. So, yeah. Saturday, just feet up, no worries in the world. Maybe throw a couple bets here and there. And just ride.
Definitely going to be betting some. That'll be the only gambling that I do. Unless they have one of those little horse racing machines.
God, you like that? They do, by the way. I saw one at Super Bowl.
Yeah, they're like a buck.
I know, but it's just like, what's the algorithm here?
Yeah, no, I mean, it's not real. It's little figurines.
Yeah.
Ask the Bench. Hester, have you and Cody been texting, talking trash yet?
Who?
Exactly. Judas Worsham. Ask the Bench, where will the Whiskey and Wine stream be after the game? I believe at the MGM Grand Sportsbook.
In Mandalay Bay.
In Mandalay Bay. I get very confused by all the naming conventions. Ask the Bench. What are you going to drink for the game? Mezcal. Ask the bench over under 225 rush yards for LSU. After hearing Will Campbell, I'm saying over.
Yeah, I mean, how could you not? Get your best player waxing poetic about the run game.
Ask the bench. What Vegas buffets will Jake be hitting up?
Oh, now, you know I'm cafeteria over a buffet, but I will try to find one. I'm sure there's great ones out there. I'm sure there's elite ones out there, actually.
Ask the bench. Are y'all taking Monday off? Late game, and if T-Bob does whiskey and wine, it's gonna be bad. So actually, whiskey and wine should finish about 9:30. I'm guessing I'll probably get back to the room about 10:30. And yeah, we gotta start our show at 5 a.m. But that's okay. I've done worse. Like, that's very doable.
Yeah, the SEC show I used to do, I think, started at 5 a.m. I used to have to come here to guarantee to do it, so ain't no problem.
Ask the bench. Snap stream after this. Yes, me and Aaron will play West Virginia Penn State at 12:30 today. YouTube.com/@SnapsCFP. Ask the bench, what's your best bet for this weekend? Thanks for the win last week. Let's save it for Friday. We'll save it for Friday. I don't have my best bet decided yet.
You do a little pontoon parlay?
Yep, pontoon parlay come back this Friday. Yeah, great time in the pontoon boat last week.
Taylor, don't screw it up.
He always does. You know who doesn't? Coleman Roof. You go to Coleman Roofing and Construction, ColemanRoof.com. You get Louisiana's most reliable and respected roofing company. You can request a free inspection right there online, but just put your name, your email, your phone, a little blurb about how they can help. Submit. Bam! They're there for you. And look, I say complete because it's commercial roofing, it's residential, it's a construction portion, it's anywhere in the state. And when you're talking about Coleman's core qualities, integrity, okay, they're open and honest. Make sure you're educated on every single step of what's being done. Quality, making sure that the work is done to the highest degree, no short corners taken. And then innovation, making sure to stay on top of the ever-evolving world of roofing, the technology, and how to best serve their customers. ColemanRoof.com, ColemanRoof.com. Ask the bench. What would you do if a new employee parked in your assigned parking spot that you've been parking in for a year?
Probably nothing.
We're the only show that doesn't have a single dedicated parking spot. Every other show, at least one person. A lot of times, I think AFR, everybody has a parking spot.
AFR is two.
I know Paul has one.
Matt and Paul.
Moose didn't have one?
No.
Okay.
Damn.
None of us have one. Alondra and I park in the guest parking every day, and Tay and T-Bob park in the back of the building.
Yeah.
The answer is easy, though. You just have the car towed. No big deal. Not that big of a deal, I guess.
You just hit him with the boss from Office Space. Yeah. Is that your car out there? Well, actually, I've been parking there for a while. Actually, I would hate that. I think I'd probably just let it ride.
Yeah. And if somebody tried to tell me, like, hey, I've been parking there for a while, don't park there, I'd be like, no, I'm parking here. Like, it's unassigned. It's unassigned. It's not yours.
All right, we'll see you tomorrow for more OTB, guys.
Off the bench.
It's an everyday thing here. We work horses in the mornings and we work on the property during the day, and without these John Deere tractors, it'd almost be impossible to keep up with the place. I've dealt with some of the other colors and stuff, and I never really got the response back that I get from John Deere, We really enjoy dealing with Sunshine. They're good people. They always check on us and make sure our equipment's running, and we love them. Flip the switch and learn more about what it means to be powered by Sunshine at sunequip.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.